This week on the Fourth Culture.
What's going on? Where the fuck am I?
Are you ready to return to your rightful place?
You should know better. You're smarter than this, father.
Time and tide wait for no mortal.
For our powers combined, your spell doesn't fucking work.
You are proving to be a disappointment, son.
And you are living up to my expectations.
I wish the time would stop for everybody else.
By the power of God, you are healed!
Under the sea. Under the sea.
No.
You all go get us, but we are better. You all mati.
No!
If you roll an 18, you crit.
18, yeah, this is what I mean.
Right?
18's a crit. Yep. Hello, and welcome to the Fourth Culture. It's almost like we've not been off air for like 5 weeks or so. My name is Ramji, and I will be your Dungeon Master and host as we wander our way around the final chapter of Survey Team 3.
Yes.
Yes, very exciting. Joining me tonight, as we have run for now 56 episodes, the remarkable Barra, played by Sheena Chan.
Hello. I forgot my Twitch password, so I can't sign in. And next.
And next, the rather
Come on, Ramji.
post-amnesiac, rather confused and under pressure, Sea Elf Cleric Kaman, played by our very own Edward Choy.
Yeah.
We have the remarkable killer that stalks the night and day and just murderizes everything that is Lisa Yo, playing our Halfling Monk Kie. No, actually, Kie is the killer. Lisa's a very nice person and not at all in any way. So yes, absolutely. And
That's what you know.
yeah, well, indeed, as we find out reading the Straits Times tomorrow. Last but never least, we have the impeccable goblin with the green globes of fun, the one, the only Sheena Chan.
No, glory.
We are, as always, indebted to all the people that make this possible, not least of which are the one, the only, or the two, the only, Hans and Cheryl.
I haven't seen them for so long.
Yeah,
Indeed. It's, they look completely different now. Cheryl looks really a lot more sort of, she's about 7 foot tall now.
I see.
She's sort of, yeah.
She's really
That's
grown into
actually
a-
terrifying.
Very nice, Ed. So, hopefully, the relatively incapable job of putting all the tech together that I had to do has worked, and people can hear us and see us and all the rest of it. If that's the case, then we should be able to go over to our recap oh, wait, no, I forgot. There's a thing we always do. What is that thing we always do? Ed?
Well, that depends. Because if you don't know what you're doing, you're probably wondering why you're struggling so hard to make money in an economy that's already going into the very end of its market cycle. It's in its death throes, and you're still not making money? What are you doing? What you should be doing is getting in touch with a crack team of ex-financiers. That's right. If you can find them, they will help you for a price. What that price is negotiable at www.abetterconsultancy.co.
Yay!
Thank you very, very much. And
I totally forgot.
that's wonderful. Thank you so much for that. Now, with no further ado, a very overdue recap. Sheena Chan.
Previously, on the Fourth Culture, it was many, many weeks ago. Things happened. Many things happened. What happened? I tell you now. Okay, so we were going to invade the heart of the blood company where they set up. So we invaded. We saw the sects that were working with us, powering up these teleportation circles to send people out. Our party ported to the back of the Dawnbright Palace. And then we flew upwards on the back of Bob, who is now a very big griffin. And we were spotted by guards. And the guards attacked. And we attacked them back. Yes, actually, no, it was the other way around. We attacked them to, prevent them from going, got people. So we attacked them, then they attack us back. Yes. So we noticed that there were some airships docked nearby with a large cannon-like device on the top. And we figured, okay, I think we're supposed to deal with that. So, during the fighting, a lot of things happened. But the most important thing was this. Bob got shot by these wizards and went down. Possibly dead. Kaman went down to, actually it was Barra first. Barra first went down to assess Bob, try to heal his wounds, but realized, how come not working like that? Never mind. So after that, Kaman went to try. Also realized, how come not working like that? And it soon dawned on us that Bob was not with us anymore. Kaman, as this was happening, there was a flight of dragons appearing in the air in the distance. Kaman decided, okay, never mind. He not really dead yet. It's not been that long. Cast Revivify. But instead of revivifying the Bob, he had a vision of clouds and a mountain. And he was in the point of view of this talon-flying creature fighting a wolf and then winning. And then he found himself standing next to Eijnar, who was telling him that Bob is not a mortal, and so Revivify isn't going to work on Bob lah. And then he told Kaman that there are choices, and he would have to basically choose between his god or his Bob. And then Kaman said, "No! I refuse to make this choice! Use my life instead!" And Eijnar was like, "It doesn't work that way. Okay, never mind. I give you this final present." And then he gave Kaman all of his memories back. And in that moment, Kaman remembered that he is actually the son of Bul'Dar. Dun, dun, dun. And that he had led wars and he had done many, many bad things before. He was connected directly to the weave, and his connection to Eijnar disappeared. And Einar's final words to him were, "Be just in the search for knowledge. Know that I have always considered you my son." And then Bob's body disappeared as light, and Kaman forced the weave to restore Bob, who came back as this dark, glowing silver dragon who became damn the tuajia, super the big. And then Bob, the very big dragon, flew towards the other dragons who were flying towards us, who all stopped in mid-air. And then he told them, "You all work for me now. You must go away and find me food and come back. 300 miles away, yes, must be there." So they were like, okay. And then they actually left, which was amazing. I will have to say, this was, yay. Don't have to deal with dragons, always good. Yes, anyway, there was a giant statue on the streets below us who came to life and started attacking things. Bob came back to us and then tried to understand what actually happened to him. And apparently, he and Eijnar somehow melded into one being. And Bob isn't exactly a god yet, but is getting to that point. We are also very confused. And then he also pichat lobang and tell all of us that Kaman is actually Bul'Dar's son. And we all like, so many, epiphanies in one moment. Very exciting. Anyway, then Bul'Dar appeared in the sea near the party. And then Bob protected us from the divine suppression that Bul'Dar was putting out. And then Bul'Dar seemed to recognize that Kaman was fully in control of his mind again, and told him to return to his side as his right hand. And then Barra heard Agatha's voice in his head asking, "Do you trust me, Barra?" And that Eijnar had apparently given her a very large part of his energy and asked for permission to channel some of the energy through us, and told us that we must resist Bul'Dar's influence. Then, if that wasn't enough, more exciting things. Ryaka came out from the sword of Koshi as a flame dragon head and an ice dragon head also came out from my swords. And then the whole party fell unconscious for a while as massive bouts of energy burst forward. And then somehow we became Tiamat, the multi-headed dragon. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
And that was where we left off.
Yeah.
Yay.
Thank you, Sheena.
We even kind of have like the Power Rangers like squares that we used to communicate with each other in the Power Rangers.
Indeed. This is like you're in your Power Rangers boxes. Wonderful. So
Power Rangers.
you do find yourself then back in this world where you are.
Oh my gosh.
I wonder if I can make it so that this is sort of just right kind of where you guys are. There you go.
Oh wow, that
Alright.
figure.
That
know,
is
what the fuck?
amazing.
Oh, what the shit? What's going on? Where the fuck am I? What the fuck? I didn't do like 10 years of abs just to become this fucking dragon. What's going on? Oh my god! Like, do we have control over our own limbs?
So you have control over your own over a head.
Okay.
And so Yrsa, you have control over the ice head. Kie, you have control over the black dragon's head, naturally.
Yes.
Barra, you have control over the red dragon's head.
Okay.
And there are, in fact, as we said, 2 other dragon heads that are also controlled, and a large rumbling stomach of Bob. You get the impression that the other 2 heads are. Yeah, one of them is
Ryaka.
You don't know. You don't know
Okay.
for sure. You don't know for sure who these people are, right? But you don't. You also don't know for sure, but you're pretty sure that some semblance of Agatha is sort of around you as well, and you feel that sort of very common sort of sense of safety that you felt before, Barra. As if you know that Aggie's nearby. But yes, the most strange thing right now is as you kind of look around, you realize you are displacing probably 300 or 400 sort of cubic meters worth of air as you sort of like move your head around, and you realize that's also from the wings that you're flapping and the giant fact that you are the form of a not just a huge dragon, but a dragon that is larger than any being you've ever seen other
Oh no.
than the creature you are facing.
Huge.
Oh,
Urtu versus Gujira.
Indeed so.
Are we having problems staying in the air since we're all controlling the wings together?
We are ignoring the inverse square law, and we are ignoring the inverse cube law, and we're also ignoring the fact that there are some basic motor skills. So unless you're consciously one of you tries to do something that the other and someone else is trying to do something else, where we will have a little bit of fun. In general, you relatively quickly realize that if you don't think about it, strangely enough, the dragon just stays up.
Must
Now-
be
you say
Ryaka.
that Bob controls the wings and the stomach.
Somebody is
He
doing
has
it.
more flight capabilities than all of us
At
put
least
together.
Bob knows how to fly.
Bob does know how to fly, and that is that's where you are. So you find yourself like fix the music here because it's completely not.
While you're fixing the music, can I just turn my head and go like to the hits that I don't recognize and go like, "Hi, how you doing? What's your name?" I look at there's a brown head that's unaccounted for, right?
There is a red head, a blue head, a white head, a black head, and a green head, representing each of the colors of
Okay.
of the dragons.
You
So
see
the
this magnificent head go, ah. Well, I'm not green. I'm surprised.
I'm a redhead. Oh, it's always a blonde. But okay, I can still have a redhead.
you hear a voice as a sort of like the green head turns and says, "I'm willing to swap, if such a thing."
Who the fuck are you? Did we recognize this voice?
Yeah. Do I recognize this one?
Yeah, you recognize his voice, Kate.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
The rest of you don't recognize his voice because you've never really heard it, and certainly you haven't stared longingly into his eyes.
Wait, have we not heard it when he was fighting us though?
You did, but not in this tone of voice, right? He was very much a different sort of creature at that point, right? But yes, it doesn't take too much to to guess based on circumstances and all of your relatively high intellect. But you are, I would say, for this very moment, mildly disconcerted and trying to figure things out. And as you are figuring these moments out, I want to just briefly take a small pause and talk instead to Ed, where as you are watching and looking at these friends of yours who have transformed into a legendary mythical creature that you really haven't heard very much about, and dealing with the shock of Bob's death, resurrection into a demigod, transformation into this sort of gestalt being with your friends, it's quite an overwhelming moment, especially now that you also remember that you are in fact perhaps the son of the reason why things have all gone a bit to shit in the first place. And a voice appears in your mind. It says, well, son, it is time. Are you ready to return to your rightful place?
What are your terms, Father?
Can we all stare at the Kaman hit?
There is no Kaman head. Kaman is...
Do we hear this?
Nope, absolutely not. Kaman is currently up right here in the top.
Oh, Kaman isn't a hit?
He is not a head. No, Kaman is... you notice this relatively quickly. You don't see and feel Kaman's sort of presence inside this being of yours, right? It's a... instead, with your vast, draconic, almost deific sort of sense of perception, you're relatively aware that Kaman is instead sort of behind you, a couple of 100 meters back up on where you left him. But in this particular moment, you say, what are your terms to Bul'Dar? And Bul'Dar says, my goal, as always, is to ascend and follow the rest of my family. I tire of this pathetic realm. You, as always, are my one true heir. So for you, the kingdom of the seas awaits.
One tilts his head, even though he's just listening to it in his head, and he says, tell me, Father, in your centuries of dominance, of conquering, of dominion over the seas, have you ever managed to transcend this realm, even once, briefly?
At this point, I'm like, hey guys, I think he's distracted.
So this is in fairness happening while you guys are figuring out one wing from another.
Okay.
And you're kind of like, you're basically duck walking in the air as you're sort of like figuring out what's going on. Like, you know that thing happens when you broke a heel or whatever and you're doing that weird kind of funny walk, right? So that's exactly what you're figuring yourselves out. And like, no, go that wing, I've got that wing. And Bob's like, no, it was me. And so yeah, this is happening, contemporaneous with that. So,
Okay. Go.
Yeah. Have you ever managed to transcend this realm, Father?
This realm is the material plane. Of course, I have left the material plane.
Where have you been? What have you seen?
So there's a vast pause. And he says, I have traveled and seen things you wouldn't believe. I'm going to stop myself before I go into a Blade Runner quote. I have traveled and seen things you wouldn't believe. I have entered and swum through the elemental plane of water, consorted with marids and ancients. It is not your place to question me, child.
And I have walked in the shadow of the Lady of Pain. Tell me, how would you feel to transcend and yet discover yourself to be a mere speck, an inconsequential particle in a larger realm?
And I shall conquer that realm next.
When you're nothing more than an ant to its inhabitants? What sort of arrogance is this? What hubris? You should know better in your great power. Are you not a god? You should know better. You're smarter than this, father.
We can discuss this after I have dealt with this problem.
No, Bul'Dar. We'll discuss nothing, because you are unworthy to rule. You are a fool, and your time is at an end.
So just at that point, as you say that, a scream of rage from Bul'Dar, as you sort of flapping and no longer duck walking, managing to have worked your way to it, are needing to roll initiative. Now,
Okay, guys, I need everybody's attention.
I need a roll from each of you, please. Kaman, you'll use your regular stats. The rest of you are rolling one per head that you control, right?
Who's the final head? Did we have you figured it out?
I
don't understand.
So it's you, me, Yrsa, okay? I forgot your boyfriend's name.
Ryaka.
And one last guy that we haven't figured out. One last person.
One last person you haven't figured out. Now, Joe, I'll ask you to roll for Bob, please. Lisa, I'll ask you to roll for Ryaka because, hey.
Because,
Why not? Hey. And so what I need is 2 initiative rolls. You will be rolling initiative with a +4 modifier.
For me?
For all of you.
Oh, okay.
You're not using your own stats here. You're just rolling a d20. You're adding 4 to it, and you're going to let me know what that is.
Ryaka rolled a 19, which is way better than Kie ever rolls.
19. What's Milton? Is that the last?
Are we putting it in the chat?
Yep.
Okay. I would have remembered the Milton.
Milton?
Okay.
Yeah, 3 of us rolled 19 on the dice.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that is quite.
All right. Bob's going first. Oh no, Ryaka's going first.
Okay. So.
Okay,
I'm glad somebody who knows how to be a dragon is going first.
Consolidating.
Thank you very much. So as all this happens, in fact, the person that's going first is actually going to be Bul'Dar, as he screams in rage, bordering on outrage. And it's a scream that comes. It's as well as being sort of like from this giant sort of sea creature, this leviathan that's come up from the depths. There's also something strangely human about the scream. There's a scream of pain and denial and frustration and rage as this creature bounds forward and attempts to leap at you. Looking to swat you from the sky. So I would like. Okay, that is a 26. Now, to give you an indication here, this is a kaiju fight in essence. So everyone gets to roll lots and lots of dice, and there's going to be lots of maths for everyone, Lisa. Now, as a result, as he lumbers his way forward and then slashes, there's a moment where you think, oh, it's stunning a creature this large can move this fast, as a swipe of his front claw comes across you and does 78 points of damage to you. It sort of catches you across the chest, and you notice as this huge sort of like swipe moves through the air and catches you across the chest, that it peels away the scale. And you realize that you as individual player characters might not perhaps have the stones to be able to fight Bul'Dar, but whatever you've become, well, that's a different story altogether. So it is now going to be, let me pull up the magic sheet. Who's up next? Is it Bob?
Yes.
No, it's Ryaka.
Yeah.
It's
Ryaka.
Ryaka. What would Ryaka like to do? Here.
What?
Let me give you some options, because now you're in the form of Tiamat. Exactly. So you can, now there's a bit of coordination here, because in order for you to choose to move, right, you need to get the engine room to give you some okay here. And the engine room is Bob, right? So what you need to do is you need to say to Bob, I need to go over here, right? And, you know, because you're just a head, and Ryaka is just a head, and so is Yrsa and Barra, right? The actual majority of the movement is really an instruction to the body, which is Bob, right? So if you want to move, you need to tell Bob, and it goes on his initiative. So from where you are, however, you have the following options. You may choose to cast a spell, and if you do, I will tell you what spells you can cast, right? You may choose to use your breath weapon, which is a unique ability that each of the heads is able to do, which is to effectively spill out, in the case of the green head, which is Ryaka, a cone of poisonous gas that is essentially probably not that useful against, you know, the tyrant of the seas, but you never know, right? And finally, you can bite and gouge with it. What would you like to do? And if you want to know about casting spells, I can tell you what spells there are. There are plenty of them.
She's not in range to bite and gouge, yeah?
Well, I mean, Bul'Dar did, in fact, kind of giant lunge forward and slam his way towards you. So you could definitely take a bite of them as he's sort of like, you know, in sort of titanic fighting range, if you will.
You know, I honestly would have chosen the gas, but after what you said about it, I guess I should not.
Well, you don't know. I mean, like I say, these sorts of beings are kind of resistant to everything anyway.
WWRD, what would Ryaka do?
Yes, what would Ryaka do?
Run away with Kie.
Really?
Nah. Okay,
Wait, what are the two heads that are next to each other? Oh, they're having a little cuddle.
of course they're next to each other. What are you talking
Having a little cuddle, look at that. Anyway, so...
I do want to try the gas.
You'd like to
yeah.
pointing us? Okay, so you there's a deep inhalation of breath, and you sort of, as Ryaka, would feel the sort of like the huge sort of like displacement of air come into his lungs, and then the sort of these magical sacs that are on the back of sort of the inside of his mouth kind of then force out this sort of this poisonous cloud that's then pushed in this cone. I need you to I need you to roll 8d10 for me, please.
8d10.
Yes.
Crap. Okay.
Impressive.
Pull out your vampire dice and use them all.
Yes, and you need to roll a hunger dice as well, please.
Oh, don't confuse me.
No, it's fine. Sorry.
You roll that for Bob.
It's a hungry dice. I ate the dice.
Plus 7. 4. Okay, so 5 is 4 plus 10 plus 7 plus 5 plus 1 plus 7. 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, please.
Okay. Plus 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plus. Oh, sorry. 6. 46.
46. Nice, very nice. So you you basically see that Ryaka kind of swings his head and then just sort of, you know, this cone of green sort of spiraling gas sort of comes out of his mouth and then sort of lands straight kind of like around Bul'Dar, who just sort of pushes his way through it. And again, rather like when this sort of kaiju's effect on you was, I don't know, it doesn't seem too bad. Oh, Tailspot crashed. Okay.
Oh no,
that's fine. It's okay. There's absolutely nothing happening here. Nothing to see here. Move along. But as that minimum effect was happening to you when you got slashed across the chest, in a similar kind of way, you see the effect of the poison does, you. If you were Ryaka and suddenly you're in your gestalt mental kind of like sharing state, you get the impression that if you had breathed this on regular mortal creatures, they would be very, very dead. So it's just a shame, but you're not fighting a mortal creature. Okay, that is Ryaka's turn. Now, who's up next? It is Bob.
Bob.
Bob do what Bob do best.
So, without a particular instruction,
Right.
Bob will more than likely choose.
Bul'Dar and
What was that?
No, what? Pick up Bul'Dar.
Yes, Bob is instead. You hear this voice that goes,
Okay. And after that meditation.
yeah, and then you hear sort of like this tone of pure meditative
He's got the wisdom of Eijnar now. That's right.
focus, indeed.
He's achieved the Zen.
As he begins to cast.
Oh, nice.
ooh, cast. That's interesting.
As he does so, you start to begin to just, all of you, see the world a couple of flashes of seconds before it happens. It's almost like you begin to see the future before it, actually occurs. Like as you're watching, and as Bob has cast the spell, you see the 5 or 6 possible thoughts and choices that the Barra's head is about to make, or you see that Kaman is contemplating options. You don't know about what, right? You see that the white head is considering the angle potentially and then wondering what it can do. And you all get these momentary flashes of precognition or foresight as you are affected by the spell Foresight, which is a 9th level D&D spell. I will read you the script when my Google works. So as a willing creature, you are able to see the immediate future. For the duration of this spell, which is 8 hours, you cannot be surprised. You have advantage on attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws. Additionally, other creatures have disadvantage on attack rolls against you for the duration. It is not a concentration spell, but it can be dispelled. So you see this sort of feeling of incredible knowledge sort of permeate your conscious experience. And you hear the voice of Bob say, well, that ought to hold for a minute or so. It is now.
Come on.
Come on. You are not affected by foresight, I'm afraid.
Oh no, it's cool. He's
Instead,
never had any.
It is indeed. Kaman is for such a high wisdom character, he is lacking in foresight.
Absolutely.
But it is now your turn. There, what would you like to do, my friend?
Am I still locked in a psychic insult battle with my father?
Well, you certainly can choose to communicate, though he appears to have decided that the time for talking has passed, at least for now.
All right. Well, I suppose that it would do me some good to look him in the eye. I cast Etherealness.
Okay. On yourself?
On myself.
What does Etherealness do?
I step into the ethereal plane, the border region where it overlaps with the current plane,
Mm-hmm.
and during this time I can move in any direction.
Okay, perfect.
And I start walking over.
So literally you're just able to walk straight through the air, and do people see you in the material plane as well, or is it you just disappeared?
If they can see into the ethereal plane, they can see me. If they can affect things on the ethereal plane, they can affect me.
Yes, you notice that both Tiamat and Bul'Dar are present in the ethereal plane as well as in the material plane. They are.
Well.
Yeah, these are powerful creatures. But guess what? So are you. And now, as you begin,
at least it allows me to walk over. So it's just for style points, right?
100%.
Now I'm moving towards them.
100%. You are now striding straight, out of the balcony that you were on through the ethereal plane, able to see this sort of like this fight between the heads of the mother of dragons. And
I should get there by Thursday.
Oh no! It's the Kaman mobility problem, isn't it?
No.
Oh. Right. No one tell Bob to fly anywhere. This is important. Now, okay, so.
Oh shit! You guys moved.
Okay. I guess I'll walk over that way. Right. Now, on that note, we then go to
Yrsa.
Yrsa.
Okay.
You are the white head of the draconic form of the Mother of Dragons, which we should be able to go back to. Yes, there we go. Tell me, what would you like to do?
Okay. What are these? What is happening? Oh my god. Okay. So with my foresight,
Oh, I've missed that voice.
with my foresight, I'm going to see if I try and bite him, what will happen.
If you try, you basically get advantage on your attack, right? So it basically means that sort of you sort of get this sort of the foresight ability isn't a pure what will happen. It's more of a, but you definitely get the feeling that if you wanted to bite him, you've got a good old chance of biting him.
Get a mouthful of my dad. Oh, that's terrible.
Yes. Oh my god, that sounds really wrong. But yes, Yrsa is a simple person. She's not gonna do things too complicatedly. She's just gonna try and bite.
And as you lunge forward with your bite, you feel that it isn't just a simple physical attack. This is channeling the power of elemental ice dragons. So please roll to attack with a +9 modifier.
Oh, we have plus 9. So that would be 28.
Oh yeah, that's a great roll. So as you roll with advantage, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So
more than 19.
so with that, good for Bob. Now with that roll, you absolutely do hit. Now you are going to roll 68 points of ice damage, please, as the literally the maw of Tiamat like grasps onto a chunk of Bul'Dar's shoulder. And you see as it does so, the area that it grasps onto just begins to immediately get covered in a kind of hoarfrost and rime just from the proximity to the cold of your face. Go, tell me.
Okay, we've got 23 on the 6d8.
Nice.
Yeah. Ha.
Nice.
Can I hang on to him?
I was going to give you the option of a second attack. So if you want to make it a grapple or a try and attempt to hang on to him and sort of like whatever that would be, feel free to roll to hit again, and we'll see if we can make it that. It won't do damage, but it will mean that you're then attached.
No, it's okay. Now I'm like, ha, and then this part is frozen. Like, ha ha, the leg. Let's try and buy another side.
Do it.
Oh no, these barrel.
Uh-oh.
+9 only at 12.
12 total.
What about
1 and 3.
channel points? If only there were some channel points to spend during the final chapter. Oh no. If only somebody would spend some channel points so we don't go to waste.
Like the blatant chilling is going to have to affect one of you next. Oh, just in time.
Advantage.
Just in time. Okay, fair enough. Go. Oh, you already had advantage. You can't roll with double advantage. Yeah. So, okay. Well,
There's now 2 advantages.
so now we go to Kia.
Yeah.
You don't get to re-roll. It's like you only get 1 advantage. You don't get to roll 2
okay.
dice.
Sorry, guys.
So it's okay. It's what it is.
Once that I got the other side, then miss. Okay, never mind. Yeah. Beep.
Kie, after having watched Ryaka's attempt to, blow out some gas, what would you like to do? You have the option again. You can choose to cast a spell if you wish. You can actually no, you can't because one's already been cast this turn. But you can choose to attack or use your breath weapon. As the black dragon, your breath weapon is acid, and you will spray a sort of like a straight line, a stream of acid.
Acid.
Do any of us control like the arms? Like if I wanted to slash.
If you wanted to slash with the forearms,
Yeah.
I mean, technically you could sort of like say, I'm going to take control of the arms and do that. It might lead to some confusion between you and Bob a little later as he tries to figure out what to do. It's all right for the moment. If you want to have a go at it, go ahead.
Okay, then it's okay. Then I will bite, but I'll try to like instead of Yrsa's kind where it's just like a cat, it will try to be like a bite and drag.
Ooh.
So you're trying to move closer?
Yeah. Or at least I'll stretch out as far as I can.
Okay. So to be clear, what's your intended goal here?
Is it a bite and grapple, or is it just did you want to do 2 attacks like Yrsa?
Like maybe try to bite the neck and kind of like pull it to the side a bit.
Okay, so you want to like sort of see if you can just do a bit more damage and sort of like go that way. Okay, sure. Roll a d20, add 9.
2 d20s even.
Yeah, D advantage. Yeah.
Oh, advantage, right?
Yeah.
This one is 12 plus 9 is
21.
21.
So your first attack, as you sort of bite across, and you see like your fangs are dripping with acid, and you can see that as they get closer and closer, there's a moment where you realize that they just scrape off the hide of this coral encrusted, sea leviathan, as you don't appear to penetrate through, I'm afraid, not the 21.
Ugh.
Second attack.
I will
Yeah.
try again. Oh my god, it's even worse. 11 plus 9.
Unfortunately, no, I'm afraid.
No.
It does not quite make it. You sort of attempt to grab a hold of it, and what you end up with is a mouthful of kind of barnacles and various other bits and pieces like that. It's just short.
Okay, I only have 2 attacks, right?
You only have 2 attacks, I'm afraid.
Okay.
But we're now going to roll our way down to Barra.
Barra is feeling very competitive after he saw Ryaka. Okay. Oh yeah, you can shoot acid. I'm so great. Okay, right. So using foresight, right? I mean, or using whatever like knowledge I have of my new body. So I assume I'll breathe fire. Like, what is the modifier on that as opposed to if I bite this guy? So if the bite is plus 9, yeah. So
Yep.
So
the breathing fire you don't roll to hit. It's a saving throw for Bul'Dar, which you can choose to pass because he's obnoxious like that. But even so, I mean, it's a giant cone of fire that's being breathed out from a red dragon.
right.
I'll leave it to you to choose.
Nah,
Oh, he's a water type Pokemon. You be stronger against him.
I don't know that, but he's probably
No, I'm
he's
kidding.
legendary.
It's not good though.
Okay. So I'll just be like, no, this is for fucking kidnapping girls in the middle of the ocean. Fuck you! Ah! And then like he lunges in to like bite him with his
For a bite?
fiery-
Cool. Roll with advantage to attack.
I will roll with advantage. Let me see.
His AC is quite high, eh?
Ah! No, it's fucking hell! Shit!
No good.
No, that was
Try again.
that was a 16. The 7 of both dice.
Give it to him.
I got Okay, I've got many new dice, so I will roll the new ones.
Ooh, new dice.
Yeah.
Nice, so fancy.
Ah, roll again!
New dice, who dis?
Oh no! Oh, that was the highest is also 21.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's
Just
not good.
short, again, as you sort of lunge forward. Is that for both attacks?
Yeah.
Yeah, so as you lunge forward and you sort of, your rage and your anger has, you just stop short. Your first attack just kind of like glances off the side of the head, and the second one sort of actually, Bul'Dar just swats with this giant sort of claw, swats your head out the way as you sort of end up having to kind of make emergency maneuvers. You know, it occurs to me that I often wake up, you know, maybe it's an old man thing, wake up and I'm like, oh, I just literally went to bed and slept and I got a crick in my neck. It must be terrible for Tiamat. Wake up one morning, you get 5 cricks in your neck. I mean, it's just but nevertheless, you definitely experience it.
Barra tries to trigger his mantle of majesty. What happens? What happens?
You get a message.
I'm fucking handsome.
You get a message from the system that says, "I'm sorry, you're currently incarnated as the form of the mother of all dragons. It's really difficult to become more majestic. Thanks. If you have any questions, please send an email to customer support." It's almost impossible to be more majestic than you are right now. So we will then run up to the top of the stack, which is back to Ryaka, who
Bul'Dar?
Oh, sorry, Bul'Dar, pardon me. You know, Ryaka, Bul'Dar, Ryaka. But no, who you hear this low, grumbling, almost sort of disgusted laughter as your attacks really have done a little bit, but you can see there's not really as much as you may have hoped to have happened in that particular moment. As he lunges, and this time looks as this giant Leviathan's mouth opens, and he lunges straight for. I need you all to roll a dexterity saving throw for me, please. That's not you, Ed, but the three of you, Joe, Yrsa, and Sheena.
With our usual modifiers?
No, you'll roll it with Tiamat's modifier, which is a +4 dex.
Oh,
it's not very
Oh, it's a save, so it's +8 from you.
Oh, okay.
Do we have any advantages from the foresight?
You do. Foresight gives you all advantage.
Okay, so +8 advantage.
Oh, yay, net 20 for me.
You only need a 1 dice.
I got
so +8.
Yep.
14 + 8 is 22.
27.
Okay. So, right. So you see that there is a moment as you all manage to see the head just sort of leaping forward to you a couple of seconds before it actually does, and you move your necks out of the way, leaving a single green dragon's neck.
Oh, no.
Looking kind of perhaps looking the other direction because you rolled a 2, as Ryaka doesn't quite react at exactly that moment, and Bul'Dar grabs and gouges at Ryaka's neck.
No!
Hitting.
You're the program, dude.
He's not part of the party, this is why. I always hide in that side. The sword never come out and team build with us. See? This is what happens.
I mean, the last time that happened when he was out, we were all trying to kill him, so it's reasonable.
That is true, and then you chopped his head off, so, this is like a, what you call it?
In my defense, I thought he was dead.
Okay, at least I need you to write down for the green dragon's head, just keep a track of it for me. It is 65 points of damage from that bite.
Oh.
So,
65.
Yeah, and you see that a small chunk of flesh is torn from the neck as you see that Bul'Dar sort of, you see the scales that have been pulled aside, and then there's a sort of dark blood that seeps out of it.
Right.
Okay, now that is not the entirety of Bul'Dar's turn, because you also then hear him say, "Time and tide wait for no mortal. As you see a shudder of magical energy ripple out from him, the effect of which will happen in a minute.
Barra tries to cast counter spell because Barra still doesn't understand how this body works. Does anything happen?
Actually, Tiamat has the ability to counter spells, so if you are going to use that reaction, you can try. It is a 9th level spell that you are countering. So,
shit.
Tiamat,
Wow.
by default, will just use the default slots for things, right? So, in this case, counter spell, if I recall correctly, is a 3rd level spell. So, you'll need to roll as if you are attempting to counter a 9th level spell.
So that's 22, yeah?
So,
Yeah, I think it is 22.
DC is 10 plus the spells level.
so 19.
19, okay, and we still have advantage, yeah? On saving.
It's not on this. It's attack rolls and saving throws. So this is a.
Except we have.
You do. You can
Gods.
use the advantage that Awesome Rara gave you. Yes.
And also, what is Tiamat's spellcasting ability?
Plus 16.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So you need
Wait.
to beat a 19. So you need to roll a 3 on a d20.
You can do that.
Oh, nice. Okay,
Four. Tie doesn't get you. Yeah.
Wow, should I even bother using advantage?
Well,
You
you've
have
got to
to
use
use
it.
it.
Yeah, use it.
Okay lah.
Yeah.
No, because I'll be spending channel advantage. Never lah. Spend lah. Thanks lah, guys.
I don't think we can choose.
Yeah. Okay. That's a. Yep. I definitely pass. I counter spell.
It's like-
Okay, so there's this ripple goes out, and there's a moment where it then is challenged by you. Sort of reach deep into sort of this divine being, and actually through a combination of different magics, there is a moment where you just like, and yeah.
I
it just
shout,
evaporates.
"By our powers combined, your spell doesn't fucking work." Yeah.
Woohoo!
Like Barra's rhyming ability has kind of slipped ever since he's no longer in his human body.
I mean, there's a lot more to rhyme now. So, okay. That
No, by our powers combined, I am Captain Tiamat. Anyway, close enough.
God damn it.
you hear a voice from the blue head that just sort of looks at you and goes, no, why would you be Captain Tiamat exactly, dearie?
Why? Aggie! You didn't use your turn, Aggie!
You get the impression that she was busy doing something else, and you just don't know what it was exactly. But
Okay.
yes. Now
Making tea.
making quite so, and really rather lovely tea it would be too. Now, that will then lead us to Ryaka's turn. Sort of as blood flails from his neck. What would he like to do? He can lunge. He has the ability to cast spells, if you wish, or you may attempt another poison breath.
Okay, can I hear about his spells?
It's basically all the spells that Tiamat gets. So basically, all of you can choose to cast, and if one of you's already cast, then you can't then cast. As it were,
Right.
So you can choose to utter a divine word, which is really just you could tell Bul'Dar to go fuck himself, and it has the effects of a divine word spell. You can choose to summon the powers of all of the different heads you've got and blast a prismatic spray of like multiple colors of light from your chest that sort of will then sort of move out in a cone from there.
Holy shit!
And you may choose to greenhead poison, so yeah, you may choose to also cast a disintegrate spell. Those are the ones available to you.
Just to let you know, divine word, Lisa, will affect all creatures. No, we can choose. Okay, never mind. Right. Ignore me. Yes, you can choose only.
Spray is quite
Bol'Dar to
fierce.
take it. Yeah.
I'll try.
I think I want to try the last spell that you said. What was
Disintegrate?
it called? Yeah.
That's great.
Disintegrate's a great spell. So just so you know what Disintegrate does, is it sends out... Well, Disintegrate's the thing that did for Bob. right? It's that line of green sort of, energy that literally just removes chunks of beings. So
It's a good choice.
you're very, very welcome to roll disintegrate. You will need to roll 10d6 and add 40 to it, please.
Wait, as in to find out whether or not I hit?
Nope,
No.
no. You hit automatically.
Sorry.
There's a
10
dex save.
10d6. Okay. 1. Oh my goodness.
Forgive
had
us
to
for
do
this
this.
small
10. Okay.
message from our sponsors.
1 plus 3 plus 2 plus 5 plus 1.
Wow.
So 10d6, right?
Oh,
Then
no.
there's another 5.
Oh wow.
Plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 1. So a total of 26.
26 plus
Wait, for-
40.
Plus 40.
66.
66 points of damage as this green sort of like almost laser bolt kind of forms near the center of chest before the head sort of bounds out and shoots out from Tiamat and slams into Bul'Dar, who I will roll for a save. Who
Yay!
does again with almost preternatural, it was supernatural abilities, in fact, sort of move out the way, but to take half damage. So it's still going to take 33 points
33.
of damage. Yeah.
Mm.
As you see that a chunk of, it's sort of he moves out the way, but it sort of scars its way across, the large form of his chest at one point. So literally, and as it does so, you see that the area that it leaves behind is just ash, and it's sort of it's just scarred behind it.
Cool.
Roaring out in pain and disgust, it is now Bob's go.
So but, like, outside of the spell, can I still tell him to go fuck himself?
Yes, how would you like Ryaka to tell him to go fuck himself?
Oh, but maybe Ryaka's too cool for that. Okay, I'll wait for Kie to do it.
Okay. So you feel that Ryaka is just looking at him and sort of just being a bit cool. Okay, so now as we now will go along to, it is Bob's turn. What would you all want Bob to do right now? Because Bob cannot cast a spell because he'd already done that. He'd done it with the foresight. Now he therefore is
Bob is not a head, is he?
He's not a head. Bob is a body.
Okay, well.
So he can use. He can make a wing attack to buff it, if you wish. He can slash with his claws. He can turn around and whip his tail, or he can fart.
Right.
Wait,
Think
you can
that's a-
only choose one attack?
No, he can multi-attack, but it's a question of what does he want to do? But
What is the fart attack? What is
no, that's just Bob. Bob always just
I
farts.
see.
That's just more of a Bob thing.
I was pretty. If you can breathe fire, I presume.
Bonus action fart.
Okay. I suppose. What do you guys think? I mean, if he turns around and hits with his tail.
No, so you would multi-attack basically. So if you're planning on attacking physically, you would just say I'm going to attack physically. And
Yeah, I mean he doesn't have a lot of options. So unless Tiamat has cantrips, so
No.
I suppose he would just.
I mean, she does, but not. They're probably not going to work very well here.
Vicious mockery. Okay.
Yes. So as a multi-attack, you are going to get to attack with claws twice and a tail once.
Okay.
So go to
Get
it.
Daddy's rolling for you, Bobby. Okay.
Claw, bite, wing, tail. Let's go.
Yeah. One. Okay. Claw. First claw.
Yep, you're rolling with the claws. Claw attack is plus 11.
Wow. I'm so sorry, Bob. I rolled 2 6s. Okay.
So the first
claws.
attack is as Bob goes, I got this, and there's a slash, and you see that there's a distinction between Bob's voice. Casting the spell is very, don't worry, I have this, and then I got it, and it's slams across, and then you realize that as he does so, it's I don't got this.
It's okay, Bobby. You're right-handed. It's okay. Use the other one.
Yeah, absolutely, and then you get the second attack from the other claw.
Okay. Okay, yeah, second one hits is 18 plus 11, which is 29.
Yeah, that's a hit. Yeah, absolutely.
Yay.
So the second was that was a practice round, and slams squat, and you're going to roll 4d10, please.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. I choose you. Okay. Okay, that's 24. Yeah, that's 26.
22 points of damage. Very nice. As you see that this time almost actually into that gouge that was caused by the disintegrating reactor, Bob manages to get one of Tiamat's claws in and just grab a chunk of flesh and pull it out. Now roll for a tail attack.
Okay.
What's the plus?
It's 11.
Yeah, come on, net.
Because you're into these are the attacking with the head is the one thing, but this is the dragon's
26.
meat and potatoes. Yes, absolutely. So that's a hit. So and again, you're going to be rolling. It's slightly different actually with the tail attack. So it is going to be 68. I'm afraid.
Okay. Just to check, does he have to turn around again? Because I just don't want him to be. I don't want us to be facing away.
I'm going to presume that as part of the movement here,
it's a total. It's like a roundhouse.
Turn around. It's like it's a Chuck Norris type of thing, right?
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure how probably close to 20 or 30 meter long, maybe more than that, actually, probably 200 or 300 meters from the looks of it. 100 meters, I don't know, 50 meters, whatever. Long dragon is doing a roundhouse kick, but we're ignoring the physics of the world.
Okay. Here we go. Oh, okay. 14.
Total
Yeah.
damage. Okay, well, that's a shame, but it is what it is.
Wait, did you say 48?
I think I said 68. Yeah.
Haha, then I'm wrong. Then, sorry, I apologize. 18 and one more.
Is there a plus or is it just flat?
Nice, flat.
19.
19. Okay. All right. Nice. Okay, so we then go down to. Come on.
So Kaman looks at the situation, continues striding forward, and as he walks his next 30 feet.
I just want to point out exactly what's happened here, right? So Kaman, who's up here, right, has well, Kaman.
He does something that he's decided that, look, I can affect things. It's just a matter of making sure that I act through intermediaries. He raises his hand, and 90 feet ahead of him, Harold appears. Summon Celestial.
Oh, Harold!
Hello. I was actually just taking my statutory lunch break, but I'm available, I suppose. Though this will be at union rates.
Harold, I do need to let you know that there's been a change of management.
Oh, really? Who? I mean, nobody tells me anything, because it's just it's ridiculous, really. I mean, someone does the work around here amongst other people. No one gets around to the archons to tell us what to do. But what's yes,
if you
sorry.
wouldn't mind, would you shoot my father in the face? That's just the one with one hit.
If you don't mind.
Sorry, just to be clear, when you say your father, you mean the large Leviathan sea creature, probably divine entity over there?
Yeah, we don't get to choose our families, Harold.
No, I know. Tell me about it. Now, and he sort of turns around, and as he does so, this large sort of bow pulls back and rolls a hit. Yep.
Okay. I don't know how he's going to hit, but let's try. No, first one's a natural one. No. 29 on the second one.
That's definitely a hit. Yep. Well, remember, yes, you didn't roll with advantage. Yeah, that's right. Go ahead.
Yeah, no advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So the damage is it's 15 radiant.
Okay.
And he's got a third attack because I cast him at level 6, and I roll at 18, so that's 28 to hit.
Very nice. That's a hit.
And the damage is 8 plus 8, 16 radiant.
So the total of how much radiant exactly?
16 and 15, 31
Perfect.
radiant.
Well, that's incredible. And you see, there is a moment, in fact, as Bul'Dar sort of, he's been kind of happily fighting in some ways, a little bit sort of, he's getting a couple of scars and scratches, and that's all right. But then he looks over, and this sort of large sort of beady, giant sort of eye kind of locks itself onto you in the ethereal plane. That's a minor question actually, Ed. If you're in the ethereal plane, can you cast a spell that affects the material plane?
As long as it exists on the ethereal plane.
Perfect. That's great. So, looks across, and then you see there's a moment of rage and sort of frustration. I need you, as Bul'Dar uses a legendary action to do this, I need you to make a charisma saving throw for me, please.
Oh, I could do that.
Ooh.
Charisma.
Don't forget
It's Kaman.
advantage.
Natural 20. Advantage. I've been waiting to make charisma save this entire character.
So what charismatic thing do you do?
Kaman meets Bul'Dar's gaze and then shrugs. Suddenly go.
Ooh.
There's a having pushed off this oppressive mental attack, you hear Bul'Dar's voice in your mind saying, "You are proving to be a disappointment, son."
And you are living up to my expectations.
Okay. And nicely done. As we will then
need to say that.
we'll then head on to Yrsa as the Whitehead.
Wait,
The white head.
call me a whitehead. I put down my popcorn.
Very, there's a black head.
Yeah, there is.
That's true. That one oxidized. Okay, so given that the chomping's not working out too well, I don't know all this magic stuff now. Okay, I try my best. I channel my energy and I dragon breath the guy.
Nice. So, so this is full elemental ice breath. So I need you to, as I look it up again, roll. Yes, I will let you roll. It is also going to be 8d10, please. Thank you.
Oh. Ayo, oops, overshot. There we
Never
go.
used so much dice before.
Yay.
I'm using
But, like,
the roller.
All of Casey's dice is still in the studio.
Yeah.
Oh,
56 on that roll.
very nice.
Very nice.
Wow, nice.
Very above average.
Very nice. As this sort of cone of freezing cold as it passes through the air, because we're in a tropical area, you almost this ice bolt just sort of begins to pull sort of air and condensation in from around you, and it sort of slams into Bul'Dar, and he sort of partly perhaps sort of focused a little bit on the conversation with his wayward prodigal child, if you will. He takes it full in the face, and there's just a crust of blue tinted ice, like encapsulating the head of this creature. That is your breath weapon turn. It is now Kie, your turn. What would you like to do?
I would like to do the acid pukey thing.
You are
I?
able to do the acid pukey thing. Yes, absolutely. Go to it.
Yeah,
So you
I
would
want to
do-
aim specifically to any, like, if there are any open wounds that are left, whether done by the disintegrate spell or by Yrsa's piercing.
If you would like to make effectively like a cold shot, like an attempt to, I will let you roll to attack. And the way this will work is, if you successfully hit, you will do double damage. And if you do not successfully hit, then it's up to the saving throw. And if I make my save, I won't take any damage. And if I don't make my save, I'll take, half damage.
Oh, sorry. Small interruption.
Yes.
Did the Agatha hit not get a turn?
Going after Kie.
Oh, okay.
Should I take the risk? Do you believe in my dice rolls? Probably not, but okay, I'll try anyway.
But
Do
we've got one advantage.
No, but we can't advantage, right?
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, okay. First roll's a 9. 14. So 14 plus?
Plus 11.
11.
So that's okay. Oh, sorry, no, plus 16, pardon me. So it's because it's the
30.
spell attack modifier using it. So
30.
that would be plenty. Okay.
Thank God.
So roll 8d10, please, and then double it.
Okay. Oh, jeez, stress. Okay. Goodness. 8d10. 8 plus 9 plus 5 plus 6.
And I just want to, as you're doing this, I'm just going to describe what happens. So there's one sort of white head comes sort of here, and then this blast of freezing cold energy comes out. Before that, there's been this bolt of like green disintegration ray that's come out, and then now there's the other head that sort of like swoops around, and then a blast of acid just sort of comes out in this torrent, and like almost like a fire hose. Yeah, exactly. It's like yeah.
Okay, so I rolled a total of 36 times 2 is 36 times 2, 72.
Nicely done. Wow, as the acid sort of cuts in through the grooves that the disintegrate spell caused, and then just begins to percolate its way into the shell, and Bul'Dar rears back and sort of screams out just as the pain actually for the first time, just rips through him. He didn't like that. Okay. That's a great roll. That's nicely done. Joe, it's with you.
Barra's still trying to Barra's
sorry. I'm terribly sorry. It's actually Agatha's go.
Okay, you go.
So, but before Agatha, she goes, I'm sorry, dear. Actually, it's if you don't mind, I'm just going to do my thing.
No, ladies first. HP for beauty.
I appreciate that. It's
okay. Anytime.
How are you doing? But really?
I'm glad you're feeling well.
I'm
good to catch up.
I'm feeling.
Oh no! Fucking 6 seconds. Fucking.
Yes, must do. And she will use her breath weapon, and will pile out as this jagged bolt of lightning just begins to spark and glow between her teeth. And as it does so, it then slams out and slam into Bul'Dar. And she's done exactly the same thing you did, which is that she made a cold shot, attempted to pile onto the spot that you and Yrsa had been already kind of like damaging, and had already been damaged by the disintegrate, and does hit as Bul'Dar recognizes the sort of I thought I saw the last of you, you bitch. And
wow.
Good. 17, 27, 37. I'm rolling good. 43, 53, and which is 61. So there's 122.
Whoa!
Holy.
Go, Aggie!
Oh, wow!
Did we 123?
122 doubled into the end. That's amazing. So, as there's sort of like this slam of electricity, kind of like almost there's a half a moment there's just like this creature that sort of like shocked, but then sort of sways for a second, but then carries back into the fight. But yeah, absolutely, you can see that there's Agatha blows a smoke ring.
So sassy.
Leaving it to your turn, Barra.
Barra tries to do a body inspiration on Aggie. Go,
okay.
Aggie, go Aggie, go Aggie, woman. No, do you feel inspired? No.
No. You just hear this, and I'll make it your free action. So it's basically the head just talks and just looks at sort of Agatha, and so the red head looks at the blue head and goes, "Go Aggie, go Aggie," and sort of Agatha. But yeah, no. I'm afraid that there's no. You don't feel that. You don't feel the connection to your bardic abilities.
Okay, well, I feel a bit FOMO, so Barra's like, fuck it. Now everybody's breathing, so Barra also tries to breathe. Barra's like, you are gonna fucking do this fucking piece of fucking shit! And the Barra goes like,
All the kids are doing it.
Very nice. So,
very nice though.
Are you going to attempt to make it like a targeted attack? or are you going to just sort of
So
do
if
the
I do a
regular-
targeted attack, then he doesn't.
You have
get
to
a
roll
save,
to
yeah?
hit, and if you roll to hit, then you roll with advantage. But if you roll to hit, then you get double damage.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna roll to hit.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so
Line of fire.
okay, I'm trying to choose the nice dice. I forgot which ones they were, so never mind, doesn't matter. I'm just gonna do it. Here we go.
The nice dice.
Yeah.
Where is
These
Barra's
were
hit?
not the nice dice.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oops.
So I'm like,
Was it advantage?
it was advantage.
It was
I rolled a
advantage.
7 and a 1.
Oh no, just short, I'm afraid, just short. So,
Yeah. I was
so
like,
instead, what that means is you still roll 8d10 damage, but let me roll to see if I save first, because if I save first, then I'll just save it from damage. I rolled I saved, I'm afraid. So you shouldn't roll. It's
No, I shouldn't roll.
it just saves you the effort of rolling.
Oh,
It's basically, but this gout of flame comes out, and it's this pure white, almost heat, as it's sort of like focused, and it's so hot, like the and Ryaka of course to bed. But nevertheless, this sort of blast of energy passes by, and just
no.
misses as Bul'Dar moves out the way and just it passes by, and you see that the sea behind it just there's a huge gust and gouts of sort of steam that just kind of forms up, which is, as it brings your attention to it, you then see that is like a large group of people or something in the sea a distance away, appearing up from the waters.
I meant to do that, says Barra.
As this bolt just kind of like slams into some of them, because basically it sort of cleans the water up. But yes, seems that there's another invading army, one might say. Now, we then run back to Bul'Dar's turn. He's a little hurt. He is raging and mad, and in that frame of mind, he will
Do the right thing and look for professional help. Look, I know it's been a long
He'll say,
time.
mental health is not taken seriously amongst the divine. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't take it seriously. If you need help, reach out. I mean, but in all seriousness, if you do. But he will. He will cast a force cage. And will attempt to cage Tiamat in.
We got
Now,
legendary resistance, right?
Tiamat does not, in this case, have legendary resistance.
Okay,
because-
so Barra is going to instinctively counter spell.
I will let you counterspell again. Yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't counter spell duty.
Oh, still got it. Stuff still works.
So, go ahead.
I'm trying to find the nice dice. I really don't know where they are. Never mind. You know what? I will just.
Do you want my dice?
No, I'll give them a second chance.
Oh, blow on them before you roll.
I
You
know they
want
will.
COVID? This is how you get COVID.
Your own self-touch.
Sanitize the dice.
Oh, that's a 1 and a 14.
So that's 20. Wait, plus
Another one.
13, right?
plus 16,
19.
right?
Plus 16.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's plus
30. Yeah,
30.
you definitely.
So it's more than enough. So, seeing this and then feeling that frustration, you see that Bul'Dar will use a legendary action. He's pissed off, right? And he'll say, "I grow tired of this interference." And
Yeah, you're old.
and he will recast.
Counter spell.
No. He does not have counterspell. But he will recast. Just a counter. Check. But he'll recast the spell he was planning on casting a second ago, which is a tidal wave.
Oh.
Now, tsunami, not tidal wave.
Tsunami.
Tsunami. Not to be confused with the cartoonami, which is a very different thing altogether. Now, basically, the sort of, you see him stamp his giant sort of kaiju feet, and then these ripples of energy kind of pour out from him, and the water pulls back from underneath his feet. And as it does so, you see that there are a huge number of merfolk and Sahohahaquin and the various other sort of members of the sea army. You also see glistening in their armor cohorts of sea elves. You notice all this with your divine senses. You also notice the very, very large, close to 20-meter high tidal wave that has formed off the coast of the shore, which then slams back into the shore. Now, I need one of you, and I don't mind who it is, to make a strength saving throw for Tiamat. Tiamat has a strength of 28. She is not proficient in strength saving. Sorry, strength of 30. Pardon me. She's not. Oh, she's proficient in strength saving throws. She gets a saving throw of plus 19.
I think Yrsa should make it because she does all the strength checks.
But that's true.
That's very true. That's very true.
Yeah.
And you've been doing really well.
The DC of this spell is 26. So you need to roll. If you get a plus 19, you need to roll more than a 7.
I did, but not by much.
Okay.
I rolled an 8. Oh my god.
Right.
Really well.
So you will take not much, 16, 19 points of bludgeoning damage, so it's been halved. But you also notice that behind you, good heavens, what happened here? The sea level and the city behind gets slammed as this huge torrent of water slams into the city.
Oh no, global warming.
Yes, indeed. The effect of global warming has happened to the Dawnbright Palace. Now,
No.
as it is now... Sorry, go on.
Sorry. Being the giant form of Tiamat, standing right in front of the palace, do we give the lovely architecture a bit of protection?
I would go so far as to say you more give it the sort of protection that those shampoo ads when somebody kind of bursts out of the water and their luscious hair is sort of flowing and all this. I don't know if they must have the same kind of thing here. Broadly, no. You managed to get out of the way of most of it by flying up a little bit and getting over the top of it is basically what happened there. So that you were not knocked prone. Unfortunately, a great deal of people had to deal with that here. It hasn't gone all the way in, but it's done a fair amount of damage. We will deal with that after you finish dealing with this monstrosity. Now, what are you...
But close up.
Close up. Extreme close up.
It looks really good.
Now, so what are you going to do, Ryaka?
I can't use the disintegrate spell again, can I?
You can just use disintegrate spell. There's another spell you can use that is called a prismatic spray, if you wish.
Yeah, that's what Casey was saying.
What does that do again?
That's the Care Bear stare.
Right. Okay, let's try that.
Okay, so you've all sort of pushed your various breath weapons at them, and so there's a moment where you can use again Tiamat's sort of incredible divine power to I'll read you the spell description. Prismatic Spray. 8 multicolored rays of light flash from your hand, or in this case from your heart, and each ray is a different color and has a different power and purpose. I guess it's in the sea. Each creature in the 60-foot cone must make a dexterity saving throw. For each target, roll a d8 to determine which color ray affects it. So basically, it's only once. You get to roll a d8.
No, that's it.
Pretty much, but I'm gonna bump it up a little bit because it's a divine version. So I'm actually going to say Yeah, roll a d8 for me. What's your
2.
Okay, and then roll another d8 for me.
1.
Okay, so I need you to roll 10d6 as a ray of red sort of fire kind of comes out from your chest, and another 10d6 as a ray of green poison kind of strikes out in 2 different sort of directions. It's almost like they're refracted out and then bent back in like these sort of divine lasers.
Nice.
Slam into Bul'Dar. So while Lisa is rolling 20.
Wait. So it's 20d6.
Well, it's you need to roll 10 for fire and
okay.
10
So
for...
the first 10 is 45.
Pardon me?
The first 10 is 45.
45. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
Sorry. What's the other 10 for again? Sorry.
The other 10 is poison.
Poison.
Okay. Oh, fire was thought better.
That was fire. My head involuntarily belches like, bleh! What the fuck? Poison is a Ryaka, right?
Poison is Rekka.
Okay, for poison it's 28.
28. Okay, you got it. So
She's just like manipulating the guys that like her.
Totally unintentionally, just saying.
it just happens sometimes, you know. It's just how you are. Right. Okay, that's wonderful. So, you see that these gouges that are left on Bul'Dar's sort of like body are clearly having an effect, but he is not down for the count yet. So he will again use another legendary action. This time he is going to attempt to pounce upon you. So literally he's going to try and jump up and grab you from the air in a grapple. And so he rolls a 19 to hit, which does therefore mean he hits you. It is now going to be a contested strength check if you're going to be doing... Actually, he rolls a disadvantage, doesn't he? Because of foresight. He still rolled a 16 to hit. He still hits you. So you have this moment of precognition of like, oh my god, he's going to jump on me and grab me out of the air, which he does. So it's like, oh, you're right. Now, that being said, there's a contested strength check between 2 of the great titans. Bul'Dar has a strength of 30. Tiamat has a strength of 30. So I believe with the foresight spell, I'm going to check whether or not you get foresight. Ability checks. You will get advantage on this strength check. Bul'Dar will not get advantage on this.
Yeah, Yrsa, go.
Yrsa?
What?
Yrsa has great experience with being jumped on by things she doesn't want on top of her.
What?
No, she's a goblin. She's smaller, so enemies often...
Okay.
Right, okay.
Okay,
fights
I
them
rolled
all.
a 13.
Yes, we'll roll with this.
And we plus whatever the thing was.
That's with advantage.
Yeah. I rolled
Okay.
12 and 13.
So I rolled a 17.
Oh no.
So as Bul'Dar leaps up in the air, and you have this moment where you are flying and you sort of like turn and you are tempted to do with it, he latches on with these giant claws and then grabs hold of you, and there is a titanic slam as these 2 100-ton beasts, like literally just begin to roll their way across the
Destroying
city.
New York.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, so basically, if we're looking at this poor city over here, I'm not going to do this in real time because I don't have the skills to do that. But we're going to say that you're currently, let's have a look, get you over here, currently on your side about there, and Bul'Dar has jumped on top of you and slammed his way all the way over to there. I don't know why it's not moving. Oh, it's crashing. It's crashing and it's burning. Okay. Well, you saw what's happening there. So, nevertheless, a couple of buildings now have been like you this isn't like, oh, he grabs you and he pins you to the ground and it's like, no, this is like grabs and then these are 2-to-8 creatures, so you roll, and as you roll you're using your tail to try and lever him off, and he's then using his tail to like slap you, and then his claws are just like grabbing gouges out of the earth, and you're doing the same thing, so you're trying to push your way back up again, and as you do so you are like buildings are just being pushed out the way. You see that this is full on, exactly as Joe was saying. This is full on, like, kaiju battle in the middle of New York. Like, what was that film? The original Godzilla, where like there's a loose just slams into the side of a skyscraper, exactly like that. It's sort of you are destroying buildings. There's a half a moment where you see one of those sky ships that was flying by just get swatted out the sky by a trailing wing, and then sort of it just like splats into the ground as the terminal that you were nearby just begins to teeter. This is what happens when gods fight. Now, so it is now Ryaka's turn, but to be clear, you are pinned, which means you will be attacking with disadvantage, or you're grappled. You'll be attacking with disadvantage, which will flatten out with the foresight. Right? So if you were attacking, you would attack straight. You're not going to be able to use your breath weapon without hitting yourself. Nominally, that should mean you're immune to it, but you don't really know how to drive this thing.
Can I try biting him again? Like, kind of reaching out to the side and try to, like, bite him again?
Or would Ryaka know about the possibility that Tiamat might be able to cast freedom of movement on itself?
Does Tiamat have freedom of movement stuff? Tiamat does not have freedom of movement, but Tiamat can cast Wish.
What?
So if Tiamat wishes to use freedom of movement, she can cast it, but it will use up one of the 9th level spell slots that Tiamat has.
Wait, wish? As in, I can just wish Bul'Dar was dead?
If you would like to try that, you can.
You could meteor swarm him.
What's that?
There's no disadvantage.
Oh, meteor swarm the whole city though.
Yeah, remember you're playing with you're playing with divine toys here, right? Like, targeted airstrikes are targeted to city blocks, not like this isn't a bomber drones.
Is there a spell that there's something like that will push him away? That would is there a, I can't remember. It's been 5 weeks. Sorry, guys.
No, so you could attempt to dimension door. Dimension door probably wouldn't work, but you could do Misty Step. You could
Alright, Misty Step is a bonus action as well.
Teleport if you wish. No, because you'd be using it as casting. You're using it as casting a wish, so it would be.
Oh no! What?
Well, I'm saying because Sheena doesn't have utility spells.
Oh, I see.
It's not a thing. So she's just like, oh yeah, I just can manipulate the raw fabric of reality. So
then we can just I don't know. It's up to you. It's up to you, Lisa. But then otherwise, we just don't have our advantage. That's it. Because our disadvantage plus our advantage equals flat roll. So actually, you can decide whatever you want to do.
What are the spells I have left that have not been used, Ramji?
Oh, you could gate something in. I don't know what you can gate in.
Yeah, you absolutely could gate. You can summon
reinforcements from Agatha land.
Well, primarily you could summon some more dragons, but you've just sent them all away. So, Bob has anyway. But so there might be a bit of a confusion there. But you could also summon in some dragons to help you. It's kind of up to you in terms of what you'd like the outcome to be here. You could fight and try and attempt to bite. You can, I think Ryaka right now is probably you. Let me think. You have the ability to cast Lightning Bolt. You could use the Disintegrate spell again. You're up close and personal with that, so it's probably a relatively easy thing to do. Yeah, it's up to you.
Disintegrate would be.
Oh wait, so it. Sorry, the Barra. Yeah, sorry.
It's a new spell from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. I don't know, Ramji, if Tiamat has it. It's called Blade of Disaster.
Let's have a look.
Sounds intense.
It sounds very intense.
Fucking intense.
Explain it.
You create a blade-shaped planar rift So you open a rift in reality about 3 feet long, and it becomes a sword. And then you can make up to 2 melee spell attacks with the blade.
What?
That sounds massively exactly like the kind of spell that she would have, given that now the sort of cautious part of her seems like a reasonable thing that she'd have floating around in there. Yeah, so if you wanna cast the Black Blade of Disaster.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Can I rename Koshi?
You make up to it's the Blade of Koshi on steroids. You may make up to 2 spell attacks with the blade. On a hit, the target takes 4d12 force damage. It crits on 18, 19, or 20. And
18, 19, and 20, Lisa, are numbers on the dice. I know you've not seen them, but but they are numbers on the dice.
All these dice jokes, I've missed
all
them.
the people who would summon a blade that would destroy reality, it would be Kie.
It's Ryaka.
It would
Or
be.
Ryaka, who's been in the blade.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that makes the most sense. Do it.
Okay, so what? I just
Now
roll
you-
straight.
So
And it's
Ryaka
18, 19,
summons
20.
a 3-foot-long planar
Oh
rift
god.
and attacks Bul'Dar with it.
Well,
You make-
a 3-foot-long planar rift isn't really going to cut it against like a 50-meter-long, sea leviathan. So let's actually say that when you cast this spell, about a 4-meter-long, jagged absence in reality appears with a sort of crossed hilt, and it looks rather familiar to you. It looks a bit like the Sword of Koshi, except it's not been skipping leg day. So this is a huge version of it. Is appearing nearby. You will be concentrating during this spell. And so, just so you know, that does mean that if you take damage, if whatever, you're going to have to make some saving throws for it. But this blade appears, and you hear a voice that says, yes, this seems appropriate. Good, right, let's do something." And as Koshi decides now it's time to appear. So. Roll to.
Oh my god, I'm so nervous. I feel a bit sick.
But
You only cast
just
go on, Liz.
Ramji, if she's pinned, but this is a casting a spell.
Yeah.
Then are we still disadvantaged if it's a spell?
So you cast a spell. You can cast a spell when you're grappling. That's not a problem, right? You're not incapacitated. Now that you've cast the spell, especially because there's no material components, now that you've cast the spell, the jagged sword itself is just going to attack normally. It's not affected by your foresight, but also it's not affected by being grappled.
So
it's separate from you.
Okay.
So it's not disadvantaged?
It's not disadvantaged. You just roll a single d20 for each attack, and you'll add spell attack modifier, I believe. Let's have a look.
Yes, spell attack modifier.
Just
DC high modifier.
melee spell attacks, yeah. So plus 16.
Okay, 7 plus 16.
23.
33.
Okay, and what's the second attack?
I don't know. Hold on. 7.
Yeah, so it's 2 23s.
So the blades just skin along the top of Bul'Dar as you guys are testing, just hitting. So
Okay.
You hit!
Okay.
you're gonna roll damage. So that is a total of 8d12 points of damage.
8d12!
I've never rolled d12 before.
Yeah, I actually have details. Thanks, Elton. 8, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a second. 2 plus 12.
I love this spell. I've never seen it before. It's an amazing spell.
Sounds amazing. No. Plus 7 plus 2 plus 68.
68.
68?
Yeah.
Very nice. Okay, as these two blades do more than just slam across the top, they can see that they almost remove a chunk of reality from between the parts of Bul'Dar's limbs, as one arm just kind of like begins to like sort of spasm, as the tendons just kind of like find themselves uncoordinated and unable to move clearly. So, with that in mind,
Thanks it for the spell.
Nicely done. So, who is up
Bob.
next? Bob. Bob is looking around through all of your eyes, wondering what he should be doing now that he's grappled.
With that damage, does the grapple doesn't break? Does
Grapple doesn't break. Grapple's a physical thing, yeah.
do you think we're strong enough to break the grapple?
You have exactly the same strength as Bul'Dar.
Do you guys want Bob to break the grapple? Can we be advantaged now, Ramji? Now that
You will be advantaged in this, in the foresight.
Oh, so to break the grapple.
Yep. Yeah, it's a skill check. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Totally makes sense when you do it.
What do you guys think? Break the grapple?
Do it.
If,
And the rest of us
we
can attack.
don't break the grapple, is there anything that he can do to us?
If you break the grapple, is there anything you can do to you?
No, if we don't break the grapple, does it seem like he's going to follow up with something else?
Yeah, you get the impression that it's the first of a sequence of actions
Combination.
that a predator would use. A finishing move, if you will. Finish him.
Come on, Bob, get him off you.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
five and five.
What you'll need to do is, it's just this, you're not going to roll. You're going to use your turn to break the grapple. So you're not going to roll to attack. You're going to roll in fact 2 d20, picking the higher one, and you're going to add 10 to that number. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'll give you the bad news, which is I rolled a 19 on the dice.
You can do it, Joe.
She's frozen.
Barra tries to sing.
Yeah.
Get my
So-
pitch.
No, you got 2 dice anyway. Come on.
Bardic inspiration.
Come on, 20.
Fair enough.
Come on.
Nope, no 20.
Oh, it's a shame. It's a shame. But as sort of you see that there's a moment where Bob pushes out with one claw, and sort of the building that was half about to topple then just kind of topples over, and then tries to like pull out with another one, and at the same point, and then sort of Bul'Dar's just like slam, just like forces you further into the ground, and appears to be, pulling back for another attack.
Ramji, did you disadvantage yourself? Because we're still foresight.
Not on a strength check. It's only an attack.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only an attack separate.
Alright.
But yes. Go ahead.
How far away am I from the twin?
Well,
twin
unfortunately, they sort of like move, but I'm going to make that more narrative than anything else. So let's say that you are currently 90 feet.
90
You
feet.
can reach them.
Okay, so I'll move 30 feet closer.
Yep. So you are 59 3/4 feet.
I'm so close. So close. But what I am going to do is Harold, first of all, is going to unleash 3 arrows into...
3. I think you'll find I'm contractually obligated to only do 2.
Yes, but you were cast with a 6th level slot, so...
Fine. I do. I will admit that. That's okay. Yes. Okay. So he will go to it.
Okay. Does a 24 hit?
A 24 does hit.
It's got 2 hits.
Hey.
then. So this is 12 and 13, 25 radiant.
Very nice. Very nice. There's another sort of like shocking blast of one arrow and then another one. And although these are relatively small compared to the big numbers you've been seeing in the sort of slam backwards and forwards in the kaiju battles, they're definitely... Harold does feel a bit like Hawkeye.
Poor Harold. He's doing his best.
He's there going,
My
yeah,
God.
so one of them's the son of bloody Odin, and the other one's like, dreams for years. No, yeah.
Come on, looks at it and looks in the giant beady eye of Bul'Dar rolling around. He says to Bul'Dar, This must be really irritating for you. So I'll do it really slowly. I fire one magic missile after another in a really annoying and slow plodding manner.
Just a sort of Chinese water torture, sort of like duck, 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 duck. Just, are you aiming for a particular part of it? Because magic missile is obviously hits it. But...
Right in the center of the pupil.
Okay, all right, so fair enough.
You can't do anything about it because you're grabbing on to Tiamat.
Oh my gosh.
Who knew Kaman was this? Like,
Yeah, we all knew. It's wonderful.
It's true. And it's a level 4 magic missile, so there's 6 darts.
Nice, do it.
Pia, pia.
Yep, indeed. So the
Sige na
damage
strong.
is 14 and 23 damage.
I want you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Ooh, a wisdom saving throw it is. 26.
Very nice. So as you begin to cast the spell, you feel a strong burst of from you and from whatever is now your relationship with the dead god Eijnar, as a deeper wellspring of energy opens up inside you, and turns the damage of your magic missiles into radiant damage.
Oh wow.
And will allow you to double that damage.
Oh wow.
You're not sure why, but because Harold's blink blink, but your direct attacks on Bul'Dar seem a bit powered up, so
Nice.
Does he look very hurt, Ramji?
does Bul'Dar look very hurt? He looks pissed off, and looks, damaged.
Okay.
If your question is who's in worse shape than you or Bul'Dar, I'll let you know in just a second.
And that's my turn, as I
Nicely
annoy
done.
the hell out of my dad.
Yrsa, it's over to you, I believe, as you are, as these, you see these sort of bolts of energy just kind of come flying in. And as they do so, they change from these tiny little, darts into these glowing, almost like heat-seeking missiles, as they then slam into the giant sort of monstrosity's eyes. It is now your turn. You have multiple options here. One is you can cast a spell if you wish. You can also attempt to bite, which you're making just a regular roll because of the disadvantage. Or you can use your breath weapon, and who knows what will happen.
Okay. So, I know we've tried to break the grapple as Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Can I try it again or no?
I don't think so, because it's Bob as the body that's
Okay.
breaking the grapple, right? So you could you could attempt to try it as the head, but you would be done at a significant disadvantage to you, as in you wouldn't get the entire body's strength, as it were.
Sure,
You
sure.
cast an escape spell?
We don't have an escape spell.
No, you have wish.
We have the wish.
Oh. Wow.
it's so bizarre that we have wish. And we're thinking Misty Step with wish.
No! But I do wonder whether there's a giant ass damaging spell as wish.
Oh, there's plenty. Ed found one, didn't he? So there's wonderful spells up here. Let's have a quick look, shall we? Let's have a little
Yes.
peruse of the old evocation. Let's pop up to the old 9th level. Let's get up there. It's say a spell level.
You want the shit that doesn't have a save. So
I mean, of course, you can always pull out the disintegrate. That's worked reasonably well so far. But let's see if we can get a bit of variety in here.
We also have Divine Word that we haven't used yet, right?
Divine Word is a very good one.
And that's part of the spell. That's part of the spell list. We don't need to use Wish. We don't use that.
Oh!
What if you divine word stuff to get off?
What's
Wish can be
Does it work
used
that way?
to replicate any other spell. Yeah, go on.
Wish can be used to undo a single recent event by forcing a reroll of any type within the last round.
Yep.
Well, that's a really.
Silence though. And Ramji's like nervous face.
We would have to ask for people to spend the channel points at disadvantage.
Don't need. You just make him roll with a disadvantage.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
well,
yeah.
If you'd like to do that, go ahead.
Well, I mean, you get the impression there are a finite number of 9th level spells that Tiamat's able to cast, right? So up to you what you use it for.
I feel like that might be a bit fierce to use that for.
You can use it if you want. It's up to you. There's some spells. Let's think. Divine Word, as was mentioned earlier, which will do.
Spell this. So.
Stuff
I mean,
is-
I've been advocating for Meteor Swarm for a long time, but that's
But we will
Meteor Swarm will do some business.
we'll kill everybody.
But to everyone, right?
I mean, you could target the other 4.
Crown of Stars is fun. 7 star-like motes of light appear and orbit your head, and you make ranged spell attacks, and they do 12 points of damage. You have to use a bonus action to use it. It's not that much by comparison. You can use one called Dark Star.
Holy shit.
Basically, huge gravitational damage, maddening darkness, sunburst. There's lots of things you can do out here.
Like
what-
basically all the dark spells are the cool ones.
Oh, of course they are. Or you can just stick with a time-honored, true and tested disintegrate. Nevertheless, what would you like?
God damn, so many choices. Can we stop time and like put the buildings back like Legos? Shit like that.
You know what? If you would, what would I do? If you wanted to, I would allow you to wish to cast a time stop spell.
Oh, we
During
could
the
get
time
out.
stop spell, we can do shit, right?
Yep,
It's just that they can't.
correct.
Oh
So
wow.
So we can crawl out and then like beat him up.
time stop is a spell. I can pull that properly. Give me 1 second.
I've got it. Briefly stop time for everybody but yourself. No time passes for other creatures while you take 1d4 plus 1 turns in a row, during which you can
Is this a 3.5 spell?
during which you can use
my God.
actions and move as normal.
Wow,
That's 5 turns. I mean,
yeah, that
it's
sounds
up to
quite-
5 turns. Yeah,
that sounds pretty.
that's
Great.
pretty cool.
Obscene.
Yeah.
Are we
I
in
like it.
agreement? Hive mind?
Let's go for it.
Okay.
And by turn, Ramji, is it like all 5 hits?
No, it's not going to get entire. I mean, I'll give you some. Now, basically, I'll give you a narrative turn, right? So I'll give you some sets of stuff, but
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure that within reason. Let's go with that. So, firstly, what you have to do is do it. You just have to cast a spell,
Cast
right?
on self. You briefly, it's literally, you briefly stop the 12 time for everybody else by yourself. It's instantaneous. Yeah, it's just one action to cast. The
Okay.
components are V.
All right, there we go.
I wish the time would stop for everybody else.
And so there's a moment where.
And that's what time sounds like, folks.
Well, it's more that it's somebody sort of hit the stop button.
Okay.
I need you to roll 1d4, please. You don't get any advantages or other ways to roll it. But yeah,
It's
Roll.
a timeout.
Yeah, 1. Fuck. But it's
nevertheless,
two.
you have 2 rounds. So, as you look around and you see that within a sort of like 1,000-foot radius around you, as far as you can tell, as far as you can see anyway, there's a very strange feeling. Is like you look up and you see where there are these ships that are flying through the sky. They are frozen. There's smoke, and as that smoke is sort of moving through the air, it has stopped. And yet you are sort of currently ensconced inside of Bul'Dar's grasp, but you are free to act.
Yes, sir. It's time. You've been waiting for this since we bought it.
So come on, your time stop too.
I don't think it's big enough to actually do that much damage.
Kaman raises the one finger. I love Avengers Endgame.
Mari kita.
Oh no! Oh my god, that'd
Are
be
you
so funny.
serious? Are you actually doing
Do we
that?
have it? Where is it gone?
I have no idea. All our stuff is not on us anymore because we're not us, right?
Oh yeah, it's somebody else. Oh,
Okay,
my God.
so I'm gonna need you guys to like to nail down on this because otherwise we'll spend 40 minutes thinking about this exact 12 seconds that's passing, right? Which
Okay.
12 seconds are passing right
Yep.
now. So I'm just gonna literally say for Joe, for Lisa, for Sheena, what would you like to do? Based on that, I will also designate what Ryaka, Bob, and Agatha will do. Okay.
So I have cast the time stop. I'm assuming that took my round, right?
That took your round, but now we're in the stop time round. So I will drop back into initiative once we're finished with these 2 rounds, going on to the next person in order, which will be Lisa.
I would want to use my black blade of disaster.
Get out first. Get out
Oh,
first.
okay. Get out first.
No,
So wait.
what's his face? Bob is the body, ma?
Yeah. So wait. So for this particular 2 rounds you now have, the order it's almost like we're moving to like alternate reality, right? You've cast the spell, Sheena. Now there's 2 rounds where the first actor is Ryaka.
Okay.
So
Oh.
what's Ryaka going to do? Ryaka, you hear this voice that says, "Spicy," as the head looks around and then just takes a giant lunge at the corner of Bul'Dar's shoulder and rips a chunk out. See if he hits. It does not hit.
Oh, really?
Second attack.
Oh, you're
Does
so bad.
not hit. Oh, it's with advantage. Well, the first one doesn't hit. Second one does hit. Finally, it's good. So
Yay!
as a chunk of Bul'Dar's shoulders gets pulled away and sort of spat out in disgust, it is now Bob's turn. Now, what would you like Bob to do? Would you like him to break the grapple
Yeah.
and get out? Yeah, it's going to be uncontested because Bul'Dar can't do anything. So I'm just going to have you make a strength saving throw, please. Your strength you will make it with advantage and with a plus 19 to your roll. It's pretty
Okay.
straightforward.
What does he need to roll?
You don't know.
Okay, that's a 14.
Yeah, yeah, fine.
33.
So yeah, so you sort of there's a moment as Bob goes, hang on, I got this. And then sort of like, and he says, it's better, I was feeling a bit fat. And then kind of squeezes his way out of Bul'Dar's grasp as he kind of moves his way around and goes, So that is now Bob's turn. Now, here we go. We will then go to Kaman the skipping. Yrsa, it is now your turn in the little pocket world.
Okay, so can I like put my mouth against his body and blast him with cold?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, I'm going to say, you're basically saying point blank shot time has stopped, right? So hang on, let me just check here. No, be clear, this is an important thing. If one of the actions you use during this period, or any effects you create during this period affects a creature other than you, in fact, I'm going to undo Ryaka's action, because otherwise it would have broken it, right?
Right. Yeah.
Then the spell will end. Yeah. So Ryaka won't do what he said he's doing. In fact, he's just going to sit there and just strike a pose, look into the distance, and say, "Well, I think we should probably get out."
Oh shit!
Here.
Sorry, I didn't read this part.
It's a good idea. I think it would have been a great idea. Yeah, headshot always is a good thing, but yeah, no, I'm afraid not. It's
I suppose he can prep an action to go and save people if Ryaka is so minded. I don't know what Ryaka's personality is. Kie? He can prep action like once we're out, he can go and save people or something.
I mean, he's ahead of the dragon right now, so
yeah, I don't understand.
he could in theory, but in practice it's a frozen time. So he looks around and goes,
What else can we do then?
I mean, we can. So I mean, definitely Bob can get us out.
Yeah, so Bob has crawled you out and has then got out the grapple and moved yourself and kind of stood up using half your movement. You could now, in theory, fly up to 60 feet or move like 30 feet.
He's trying to attack us, right? If we were to head over to the sea and start wreaking havoc on his army, forcing him to come to us. Just a thought.
Yeah. Can. Yeah, we could do that. We could also, yeah. We could do that. We could. My thought is also like we can like lift buildings off people or something. You know, as we come
like
up.
On our way out lah.
Yeah.
Because it's like if we continue staying here, he's going to continue fighting us here, and then we're just going to destroy more things.
Yeah.
Okay, so because the world is sort of frozen, right? When you say you want to do things as you move, they will break the time stop spell.
So we can move.
If you use an action
move objects
that affects a creature other than you.
Okay.
Then
all right.
Yeah, it's a particularly worded spell that means that yes, you get to tiptoe. It gives you kind of useful movement, and it gives you the ability to set up really nasty tricks.
Oh, okay. Let's set up some tricks. Do we have any tricks to set up?
What we can do is we can make our way over to the sea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And ready action, not ready action lah, but like all 5 hits let go at his army.
Sure. Yeah, so we are all ready, and then bra together lah, right?
Ala.
Yeah, can.
But I mean, we're still attached to the body.
Yes. So
Alright, okay.
Yeah. So the body moves us there, then the hits go brah.
Okay.
His army go blah.
Okay. Can.
Absolutely.
Okay,
so you would basically be by this thing back again. Oh, here we go. It is. Look, it's marvelous. There we go. So you would basically be here's kind of over here now. Why is that not letting me move? Okay, for whatever reason, it's not letting me move. It's good. Me and Telspy having a great day today. And Tiamat, come here. Tiamat, on the other hand, you're going to fly all the way over here. I'm going to unfold you over. There we go. Get you up in the air a bit. And fly you out a bit over here. And where the army is around here, you will ready yourself to cast, or to use all of your breath weapons in a coordinated way across this range here.
Sure. Okay,
all right, that sounds like a good thing to do. You, in the course of doing that, I mean, you managed to move over there. You also get a chance to potentially cast some spells if you wanted to, right? In terms of healing spells that Tiamat has available to her, she does know the spell Heal, and she does also know the spell Greater Restoration. If that is of use to you.
Yeah, since we can't affect anybody else, we're only allowed to affect ourselves.
Yeah.
Right now, yeah, pretty much. And she does know Dispel Magic as well. So that is where you are. So that is your first turn and the second turn. That's all the actions you're going to do. And then you're just all going to, for the second turn, you're just all going to let rip with your breath weapons, yeah?
Yeah.
The Ryaka hit did take quite a bit of damage.
Yeah.
Not so I want to say, but seriously.
Heal the Ryaka hit.
So the heal is 70 hit points.
Yeah, it's a straight 70.
So one of Bob like takes the claw and tries to like let me go and like use Ryaka.
It's like this claw appears and says, "By the power of Bob, you are healed." And Ryaka's sort of like, there's a moment where there's confused voices. What? High five.
With his little T-Rex hands, he's trying to reach him.
Can we take a look at the forces that he's amassed and see where our attacks would do the most damage as well?
Yeah.
Yes.
If they have any sort of big major siege weapons?
Is there more than one army? Can we see that?
So there are ranks upon ranks of sea creatures that are sort of pulled back here. Now, as they have all come up towards the surface, I'm going to say that you'll be able to hit them. Now, the question is going to be, how much damage do you do? Right, because that's going to tell you how much of these forces are going to wipe out. Because you are ultimately the mother of dragons, so it makes a lot of sense that you would do a almost cinematic, burn everything, destroy everything, kind of, slay an army in one as you see fit. but it's going to depend on how much damage you do. So what I'm going to ask you all to do is to roll. I will roll for Agatha. But beyond that, if I know, Barra, you can roll for Agatha, it's fine. So if you can each roll, Sheena, if you roll 8d10, please. Lisa, if you can roll 2 lots of 8d10, and Joe, if you can roll 2 lots of 8d10. Let's hope. Well, the bigger the number is, the better. If you collectively, in your, what's that, 16, 20, lots of d10s that you're rolling, roll more than, I want to say, 200, you will wipe this army out entirely.
Ooh. I'm sorry, I have substandard roll.
Uh-oh.
Okay, let me try. Don't worry. Rolling my 8d10s.
You can do it.
It's 7d10s.
Okay, my first was pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Okay, my first set of d10s is 58.
Okay, that's pretty good.
And now I'm doing the other set.
I think it's 42.
So,
Yes.
and my second set is 44.
Okay, that's pretty nice. So that's what, the 96 total, is it?
44 plus 58.
102.
102.
So 102. Very nice. Joe?
87.
87. Very close. What did you roll, Sheena?
36.
Oh, you might be there. You're there.
I only
You're
had
there.
8d10, right?
No, but we
You're
got
there,
it.
but you're
We
there. You're there.
we got
You
it,
make
yeah.
So that is 189 plus 36. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Total
so, yeah,
is
you're there.
225.
225. Very nice. So literally, I want you guys to describe the scene as you're flying over, right? So arrayed below you are, I would say, at least 3 different giant armies. There's each of which has then got monstrous creatures of the depths. Sort of like the giant ones that you fought, the giant shark, that you fought on the boat yay ago, right? So like 50 episodes ago. But there are sea elves that are riding the back of these giant sort of ancient sharks. There are sort of these people that are appear to be like half person, half crab. Maybe they're crab tours. Now they appear to be sort of like, come from the depths of the seas and appear to be ready to be fighting. So tell me, each of you in turn, how exactly are you rending this army with your breaths and weapons?
Barra is trying to use dissonant whispers, but fire is coming out of his mouth. He doesn't quite understand this whole Tiamat thing yet. For some reason, despite his high level of intelligence, you would think, but he's just going.
I think you'd get it by now.
He's going, under the sea, under the sea.
No.
You all go get us, but we are better. You all mati. And then he's sort of like, as he's thinking like this, like all this fire is coming out and all these people are keeling over. He doesn't understand why. He's like, oi, hey guys, I'm trying to tell you something. Hey guys. And every time he says, hey guys, like more people die. And he's very upset.
It is primarily, it seems, the poor crab tours who are mostly upset and affected by this rendition of Under the Sea, as they're getting with their claws. But yes, you decimate and leave a swathe of barbecued crab.
I'm a bird!
They turn from blue to a nice orange shade.
Yes, oh, they look tasty.
Lisa, tell me, what do yours and Ryaka's heads do?
Okay, so it's the big like shark like blah, blah, blah thing that you were saying, right?
Mm.
Is it only one?
No, there's a bunch of them with sea elves that are riding them, and there are other ones that are pulling along these sort of like weird sort of coral chariots that have got a bunch of different elves on with armor and spears and a couple of mages and various other things. Each one. This is an invading army. There's sort of hundreds of these fuckers.
Okay, so the Ryaka head kind of is all cool and calm and and uses his poisonous gas thing that hopefully like disorients them a bit, or at least it hides the Kie head. And then Kie takes her amazing black blade of disaster and just goes right at them with like slashes, like upwards, horizontal, and like just cutting them up like crazy into different dimensions and stuff.
And so the combination of like the blade that's just flying around, the acid breath that you're pouring out from your mouth, and the poisonous fog that's coming out of Ryaka's mouth, together they form this sort of this layer of, to the left that you had it where the flaming head has been sort of passing gouts of flame and burninating everything. To the right, it's a toxic sludge of doom and death. Tell me, cannons to the left, or toxic sludge to the left, and flame to the right. What is happening with the wee white head?
The wee white head, feeling smaller than the other heads and doing less damage, has decided to scour the carnage and pick out any areas that are not touched by the carnage and hold them in particular.
Very nice. As you notice, in fact, there seems to be a little cluster of what might be perhaps generals or officers or leaders who seem to be sort of held back in these grand sort of palanquins, sat sort of there, and they are watching the troops, and you sort of see them, and you pull together there's almost this giant icy spear of sort of like doom that flies across, and then as it does so, turns into 1,000 shards and just and yeah.
Robbie, sorry. What does Agatha do?
Well,
Agatha, I sent you a message request, but you can.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry.
It's on Zoom chat.
Okay. So Agatha says, well, no, it's time to spill the tea, I feel. And a huge sort of like bolt of forked lightning sort of jabs its way across, and then just begins bouncing from one of these sea elves to the next, to the next, to the next, as their metal armor kind of just cooks them from the inside. And she uses her breath weapon to finish off. And as you hear in the background, as time kind of reasserts itself, it's in around you as the previous silence is deafening, is replaced with just the roar of reality of sort of how sort of causality actually happening around you, as the consequences of all your actions kind of happen and manifest at the same time. You then hear a no from behind you. It is about 50 meters or so from Bul'Dar to you. Kie, tell me, as we drop back into initiative order, what would you like to do? Your back is currently turned to Bul'Dar.
How 50 meters? How far can we travel if I want to use the blade again?
Oh, that's fine.
Like, will I reach?
You can only move the blade 30 feet.
Yeah, I gave you a bit of a cinematic there earlier, but
the blade, if I'm not wrong, it gets it gets moved 30 feet. Yeah.
Yeah, so you got a bit of a cinematic gimme for the earlier time stopped bit, but the blade itself is not going to make it to Bul'Dar.
Okay.
Bul'Dar hasn't moved, right?
Bul'Dar is back where he was. Yeah, in the although he looks like he's here, he's not. He's actually still back over towards the land a bit where you left him.
Can
So he's back over here. Yeah. Well, I think the blade just attacked with a bonus action, right?
No, oh wait, hold on. As a bonus action, you can move it 30 feet and then make 2 million.
Yeah. So it's just basically, it's like, as a bonus action, it's move or not move and then attack twice.
But to be fair, like the blade doesn't have to move because Bul'Dar hasn't moved. So
true. That's a fair point. That's a great point. Yeah. So in fact, yes, you probably can. You definitely can. In fact, then instruct your blade with a bonus action.
Stab him with
stabby.
unreality. Unmake him.
Do it.
Okay, then I do use the blade. So we have to turn around, right? Oh, it's just my head.
No, the blade's over there. You can turn your head around to see.
Okay, so then the blade kind of goes like upwards from like the stomach area and then slashes right up to like where the neck is, and then she tries to like kind of change direction and turn it so then to kind of slash the neck and turn the head a bit.
Roll me some sort of koshi.
Wait. No!
Unmake.
You got advantage, eh?
Advantage. Okay,
You do
good.
want to.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
And you're not a halfling anymore.
This is still terrible, but 9 plus what's the modifier?
16.
Yeah, yeah.
16.
Okay.
Justice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh
You
my
did.
god. What's the damage again?
Second attack.
It
Oh, second
is
attack.
40-12 if I recall correctly.
Okay, but I'll do so should I do damage first or?
No, roll second attack to see if you hit.
Okay. Wait,
Come on.
advantage, right?
Yes. If you roll an 18, you crit.
18, yeah, this is rolling.
Right?
18's a crit. Yep. So, as always, our crit rolls, for those who aren't familiar with it, are you basically maximize the dice and then you roll the dice again and you add them all together. Plus,
Let me math this for you, okay?
Yeah, please.
With your first one, 4d12.
Okay.
Crit with your second one. It's an extra 8d12 for a total of 12d12. Your base is 144. Now roll 16d12 and add
Oh my
that
God.
to 144.
Wait. So, back me up again. Hold on.
First one
What?
wasn't a crit.
First one
The
wasn't a
second
crit.
was
Second
No,
one was
the second one was a crit.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
So,
Okay,
how
rewind
much
all
damage
of that.
did you? Yeah, rewind that because I mean that sounded like great, and I'm very happy with that. But run.
I'm so lost.
Oh no, it's too much.
Yeah.
Never mind. Do your first
Yeah.
attack first, which was just
Okay.
4d12. Right?
Yeah.
So 4d12 is I got 21, which is lame.
Okay.
Okay, it's fine.
Not
So
bad.
the second one
It's a
will
1 and a
max
2.
out the base dice,
Yeah, which is
Okay.
48.
Okay.
which is 4d12, which is 48, yeah?
Yeah, and now you roll 40-12.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you would max out the 12d12. My bad.
No,
Oh no, another
on the
one.
spell it says on a critical.
Oh no, my bad. I'm sorry. I got it. Right. So yes, you would max out the. I didn't see that bit of the spell. Now I understand what you're talking about here.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. In which case, oh god. Well, hey, there you go. You know,
It does an extra.
play big boy rules. You have to deal with big boy
for a
problems,
total
right? So
of 12d12.
yes, so you will basically roll 12d12 and add 144. That is exactly right.
What?
So you've already rolled 4d12. Roll.
Okay, I rolled another 4, which was 22 total, which is
So
also like.
So you need to roll another 8.
Okay. Wait, I need to roll 8d12? I thought it was
Yes,
12.
Just keep going, just keep going.
So how many have you rolled now? 8.
No, I rolled 8 already.
Roll another 8.
Okay.
You have to roll a total of 12d12 basically.
Okay, so the next 4 was 19.
Wait. So she's rolled 8 already, so that's done, right? So 21.
No, I've already rolled.
So 21 plus 22 plus
This is for the second attack, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's for the crit.
Okay, I've rolled 12, which is 22 plus 21 plus 22 plus 19, I think. So
Yep.
Okay.
84.
65, 84.
Okay, so
84.
84 plus 144, right?
Yes.
84 plus 144, that's 2 to
2 to 8.
2 to 8.
8, yeah. Is he
Wow. As
It's
a
just wrong.
huge sort of like rip kind of appears across this creature, and you see two things. You see a huge gout of almost torrential level of just blood and viscera just kind of flood into the area around Bul'Dar, which is already a bit flooded as it is. And the second thing you hear Koshi's voice that says, "How do you like that? Hey, how do you like that?" A very hurt Bul'Dar roars in rage, and you seem to have done quite a lot of damage to him. He seems a little bit spicy at that, but it's not feeling that great. Wow. Okay. That's a good spell.
Spell.
This is more than the time that Cheryl paladined your dragon.
This is close to the times. Yeah, it's more damage. Yeah. I don't think anyone's ever done 220 points of damage in one round for me.
Wow.
That's probably a record for me. Right. Okay. Then
Bob?
it then goes to that was a Kie. It's
Ryakata,
actually you again, now, Joe.
Oh, is it Barra?
Oh, that was cute.
Yeah, because there were those two frozen rounds, and then we went back into initiative on the next one.
Okay, so we are facing away from Ryaka when this happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's
You miss everything.
So I'm like, what? Oh, there you are. So how prehensile is my head? Can I like turn around and see him?
Hey, you have a long, sinuous neck. You are absolutely able to turn around and see.
Oh no, you look awfully hurt. How did that happen? And then I from this distance, because I don't want to wait for Bob. Can I flame him? From 50 feet?
No, 50 meters is too far.
50 meters? It's not 50 feet.
No, it's 50 meters. This is a genuine distance. Yeah.
I'll hold my action then. I'll hold my action until. Oh shit. But again, okay. Do we have any spells left to cast on this round? No, right? Because
because the time stop.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll hold my action
Plus
until Bob goes to him. Goes in range of him. Once in range of him, I'm so pissed off. I just kind of wanna do my melee attacks again.
Okay, so basically you let Bob get close, and then you're gonna slam with your teeth and try and grab hold.
Guys, do we wanna melee? Do we wanna melee Bul'Dar? Do we want to melee Bul'Dar or not? Because then my held action will be accordingly. Do we want to melee Bul'Dar, Yrsa? Or do we want to... Actually, or do we just want to, like, blow things at him?
I mean...
I'm deciding what action to hold. Because I can't reach him now.
I think the blow things at him allows for greater range of...
Alright. Okay, I will hold my action to... Once I'm within range of Bul'Dar, I will use my breath weapon.
Okay. That is in your turn. It is now Bul'Dar's turn. And
I also use my free action to ask Bob to turn around in case he doesn't do that already, just in case. But I'm looking at Bul'Dar, just to let you guys know.
And so is Kaman.
We try. This is Bob, but okay, good.
Yeah, Ramji, Kaman's looking straight at Bul'Dar, looking at him screaming in pain and just observing him with this look of just, what are you doing?
1 second. Also, while Kaman is side-eyeing Bul'Dar, Agatha hasn't gone yet.
No, she did.
Oh, she did? Okay.
Oh, she did.
Yay, well done, Agatha. Okay.
So, right. So now we're back in the mix. So, Bul'Dar will look up at you, Kaman, and seeing the look of disappointment and disgust in your face, he will firstly...
we can talk about this. It's just that you don't want to. You've never wanted to talk.
You see a this is why your mother's weakness has infected you. You are no heir of mine.
And what am I inheriting from you? As I gesture to his dead forces, what exactly am I inheriting? Is this not enough? When will it be enough for you? When?
You can make you have a choice: persuasion or intimidation.
Persuasion.
Okay.
I'm trying to bring my dad around to his senses. Come on, just stop it. I use Richard's advantage.
You got it.
Yay!
Thanks, Richard.
Rich.
It's not bad. Let's see. Persuasion. It's not bad at all. 22.
22. Okay. You make a saving. Okay. What is the thing you're trying to achieve?
I'm telling him to just stop. It's enough.
That means surrender.
No, just stop this. Let's go away from here and let's talk. You tell me your plans, and I'll tell you mine. And then we'll catch up.
He looks at you and says, "Then let us parley." As you and he disappear.
Oh, Barra is fucking pissed off.
Oh my
Why
god.
the fuck? We tried to fucking kill him. Where'd he go?
And that is where we're going to take a very short break, folks.
You piece of shit, come on.
as Kaman doing a classic Kaman thing, but yeah, has disappeared from the ethereal plane and the physical plane, and so has Bul'Dar disappeared. Kaman, the thing you notice as you reappear is that you find yourself in an infinite depth of water, stood next to a old but still powerful man dressed in a robe of coral with long white hair. This is your father, the King of Corals. And on that note, we're going to take a quick break. I am going to do the usual things we do with the break. I'm going to find the break button, which is here, and say hello, everybody, and take a 2-minute step away myself and leave you in everyone's tender mercies. Welcome back. Happy New Year.
Okay, thanks, guys. So sometimes during the break, what we do is that as the bard, though you can't tell I'm a bard because I'm now ahead of the dragon, we do little songs for people who have followed or subscribed. So thank you for letting me be a bard today. So this is for you, Mike. Okay, I think Mike is still here. But anyway, here you go.
Yes, Mike Twing. Just happy 2K1.
Yes. Okay,
wait, no, isn't it 2-2 now?
Oh yeah, it is 2-2. 2K22 is 2K22, Mike. You're living in the past. Okay, but anyway, this song is for you.
Is it 2K22?
Okay, here you go. Thanks for popping by tonight to witness this patricide. Yeah, welcome to T4C, Mike. We hope you like. Your being here gives us a psych. Yeah, welcome, Mike. We fused into Tiamat. Sea gods hit us, yeah, so what? Although Kaman's supposed to be his tyke, we'll tell you, Mike. We all want him to take a hike, head on a pike. Yeah, anyway, that's a little song for you, Mike. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us. This is for Boulder KSG. Let me think. Okay, I forgot the tune to this song, so I'm coming back to you.
I thought it was a Bul'Dar KSG. I was like,
it's
very
Boulder.
alarmed for a moment. Bul'Dar. Bul'Dar is okay.
That's quite a name.
Okay, here we go. Boulder KSG. I'm from T4C. That's the fourth culture. We've been off for 5 weeks on a holiday. But we're back, baby. And Lord knows we might kill the big bad maybe. Boulder KSG. Thanks from T4C. We don't know what'll happen. Kaman's fucked up with his daddy. We're looking on sadly, but Lord knows he might kill the big bad maybe. Thanks, Boulder KSG. All right, that's for you, Boulder KSG. And yeah, thanks. This is for Hybrid Overchill. I wasn't sure who'd be coming down here to join the fun. I thought we'd not have many people in our Twitch chat room. Hey, you've popped down. It's Hybrid Overchill. We're dragon heads and one more dragon stomach. With Bul'Dar in a final battle. We duck. He burns, he casts, we learn, we bite. Oh, hang on. We bite, he turns, he screams, our turn. We duck, he burns, he casts, we learn. We're glad you're here. Thanks, Hybrid Overchill. Yeah, thanks for you guys.
Classic Atlantis.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. My God. Now you have Hybrid Overkill. You have been sung to. I've also
You
like,
have
oh my
been
god,
sung
I've
to.
not sung like in like actually. Anyway,
Woo,
Hey,
Joe!
yeah, thanks, husband.
Hey.
Yeah, so if anybody else wants to come and join us, please do, and we will give you a little song. Just drop a follow or a subscribe, because that gives us points so we can survive. So please help us.
And
Yeah.
also something that we've missed all these weeks, Sheena's.
Oh yeah,
Huh?
Classic.
phrase of the day.
Fucking
So in case
praise
you're wondering what
of the
accent
day.
Sheena does, she's doing a Hokkien accent. That's like a Chinese dialect.
Yeah.
So that's the accent that Yrsa does, and she sometimes shares some linguistic wisdom here.
Have I told you guys about lang tai bo tai kwa bin jiu zai?
No.
I think
Or
not,
if you did, don't remember.
Say again, lah. Say again.
Yeah. Lang tai bo tai kwa bin jiu zai was a phrase that a Grab driver once taught me. Basically, it explains that, to see whether to tell if a person is dumb or not, just look at their face.
What? They give you a criteria of what like a dumb face looks like.
I guess it's like when you look at their face and there's like no light on you. Yeah. Dumb.
Horrible advice. What stuff?
Sometimes I look at myself in the mirror and I'm just like, I don't know anything.
Yeah, you know how like on TikTok sometimes you look at certain videos of certain dogs and then they have there's nothing in my brain. Yeah, that
Right.
kind of, sometimes you look at certain people and they're like, there's nothing in my brain. Yeah, so lang tai bo tai kwa bin jiu zai. So to break it down, lang is person, tai is not smart, yes. Bo tai is, smart or not smart. Kwa is to look. Bin is face. Jiu zai is you will know. So, lang tai bo tai kwa bin jiu zai. Oh, so Taiwan speaks Hokkien as well, or they call it Minnan over there. The Singaporeans have a very large Hokkien population, and we come from Ameng, which is Xiamen, which is quite near Taiwan actually. So yeah, once upon a time, those were like the Hokkien-speaking areas of China. Yeah.
What dialect are you, Lisa?
My dad's side is Hokkien and my mom's side is Cantonese.
Oh.
Right. So where's the Portuguese come in?
My mom's side. She's also a little bit mixed.
She's a Portuguese.
As in Eurasian, and then the name kind of goes back to Portuguese, apparently. But I don't really know much about it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Interesting. Do you happen to speak any Portuguese, or does she?
Nope. We do not.
It's like once upon a time, long time ago.
Apparently there's this Eurasian language that's kind of dying out, but I can't remember what it's called. Yes, but unfortunately I didn't learn that either.
Wait, what was the dialect?
Yeah.
Cristal, like the champagne?
Kristang. T-A-N-G.
Gristang.
Yeah.
Thank you. That helps. I have learned now. Haha. Yes. So Hokkien is a very visceral language, I want to say. There are a lot of phrases that center around genitalia and scatology. So that was possibly the cleanest phrase I've ever come across. Yeah. Tis true. Another favorite of mine is Teng Ko Bang Pui, but we've covered this before. It basically means to do something extra, where you take off your pants to fart. Also quite clean on the scale of things to come.
Yeah.
There are a whole bunch of penis-related ones, but let's not go into that today. First day, first stream of the new year.
Wow.
Clean.
Yeah. Keep things white as snow.
Like my head. White head.
Innocence. Yeah, like your white. Yeah.
Why am I the white head?
You can like squeeze yourselves very gently on people like bah!
When you are white head.
Yeah. Okay.
Have anyone tried this before? It's this Kit Kat, and it's mint cookie fudge. Oh, can't see.
No.
I'm sorry, what?
No, it's green, so we can't see it. I believe you.
It's mint cookie fudge.
Oh.
So what do y'all think about chocolate and mint?
Yeah,
I love chocolate and mint.
Yeah.
It's good, right?
Yes,
Mm.
yes.
Be right back. Trying to find alternatives.
I take it Hybrid Overchill is not a fan of green cookie fudge.
Doesn't seem so. I wonder why.
I like mint.
It's like a white head popping. All those emojis. Like, yeah.
Oh, ew. This is good though.
Oh yeah, shit, I missed that. Yeah, Polka does have a mint flavored coffee.
Yeah, Ed drinks the green tea all the time.
Oh yeah, that was okay. That one's quite interesting because it feels very toothpastey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I recently tried the peppermint green tea.
Yeah,
It does taste toothpastey.
Don't let Ed do that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just make fun
Your
of
green tea tastes like toothpaste.
With water.
You say with enough attitude, anything can become a challenge. Your green tea tastes like toothpaste.
Yeah. Well, our breath is very fresh. And we are very awake.
It's not even.
Very curly.
Your breath is very fresh.
What else can you say? Your shirt, huh? So blue.
I wouldn't know.
You would just be like,
yeah, I'd be like,
yeah.
How do you accept this compliment with
That's
confusion?
really high level backhanded complimenting.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of like, yeah. Okay, should we continue?
Let us do.
Also, Mara made a really good point.
Oh yeah.
She said, "We now live in a society where green tea is flavored like toothpaste, but my mouthwash is green tea flavored."
That's great.
On that note, why do children get fruit flavored toothpaste? I want orange flavored toothpaste too.
I mean, you can use children's toothpaste.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
It's not the same.
No, you technically can. And here's the good news: if you don't wash toothpaste out of your mouth, it's actually good for you. When I
But
discovered
it's
that,
gross.
it's really
Like,
good.
how do you just like leave the toothpaste in your mouth and then you just swallow it throughout the
Apparently,
day?
it's good for your teeth. I
bet.
was like, what the hell, dentist?
I
What the hell?
will try it tonight. Perhaps we should. So we should continue.
Yes, let's continue with that thought in mind.
Also, if you're having green tea flavored toothpaste or mouthwash, doesn't that mean that you just? I mean, it's very confusing. I'm sort of unsure about this. Mouthwash should be mint flavored. I think that's sort of. I feel that there's a line that needs to be crossed here and just defined. On that note, however, I mean, it's like, what if you had strawberry? Anyway, never mind. Oh gosh, what if you had? Because you know the whole thing about orange juice and mouthwash, right? Orange juice and toothpaste, right? Like that
No.
mint and orange juice thing. Well, have you ever drunk orange juice after you brush your teeth?
Oh, it's apparently
Apple
really
juice.
bad.
It's just awful. It's just like this horrible kind of like the
Acidic.
the acidic combination is just like ah.
You're not
So-
supposed to. Yeah.
What if you had orange juice flavored mouthwash? Like, would you automatically just be waking up and going ah? I mean, put these aside to the scholars
You
and
mean
philosophers.
any Listerine? Any Listerine.
Yes, there is that. There's the joy of the Listerine. Now, on that note, and the gift that no doubt will follow, if we're ready to wander back, we're going to do this in two ways. The first is going to just drop straight back into the scene with Ed and with his, it would seem, his daddy. So we're going to go back. If everyone's ready, let's wander back as we find ourselves deep within what you recognize, Kaman, as the core of your father's domain. This is the part of the elemental plane of water that is almost extruded into the prime material plane deep in the seas. it is a place of great, both, I'd say, magical importance, because it is a nexus between where two planes meet, but it is also a place that has been claimed by Bul'Dar from time immemorial. It is the seat of his power, and stood in front of you is, as I said, this tall and relatively aged for a being that is functionally immortal, with long white hair, and he sort of turns and looks at you, and you see that the front of this robe is intact. It is very, very ornate, and is probably millions of gold, even different prized jewels of the sea and otherwise. But you see underneath it, seeping from wounds, are divine blood, as it sort of seeps out and then just sort of like forms a little layer. And these are, a creature with an incredibly high regeneration, but still these are strong and dangerous wounds he's taken. But as he looks to you and says, "So, my son."
Kaman swiftly takes a ceremonial bow and draws himself back up and says, "Father."
You speak of parley. Have another way?
Indeed.
Well, what other way is there?
Remember the last 2 times I left this court. Both occasions, I attempted to have you killed, so that I may take your place, to do the exact same thing that you seek to achieve right now. Of course you remember that.
It is our way.
It is. But I've learned some things in my travels, and it is this. There is always another way, Father.
What makes you feel, son, that I have not tried? I made deals with my brothers, my brothers' children, various others over the millennia, all of which have come to naught. I have tried. Peace I have cultivated, the worship of those you might call friends, these mortals, these ants. In the end, all this world respects is power.
What have you not tried, Father?
Why don't you tell me, son, since we're here under the auspice of parley, perhaps you should parley. Now, Ed, I want to just interrupt for 1 second, right?
Yeah.
Make a insight roll for me.
Okay. Because, oh wow, I roll a natural 20.
Perfect.
Kaman's insight is pretty damn high.
That's great. That's great.
Plus
That's good
10,
enough.
So it's 30.
That's good enough. That's perfect.
Yeah.
So I was going to give you 3 pieces of information depending on how you rolled. The first piece of information is you see that whilst your father is wounded, you know that it is a matter of days and weeks before he regains his strength, not months or years, right? Especially here. But it is days and weeks. It's not hours or minutes. Right? He's wounded and he's hurt badly. The second thing you notice is that normally he is tended by many people in this place. There is nobody around you that you can see. That's not abnormal. I mean, he may have told bugger off or whatever, but it's abnormal given that you just appeared. Right there, where you would expect there to be, at the very least, there are, a group of elite CLs who guarantee not his protection, but the protection of his sort of immediate domain, who are known as the Storm Wardens, who keep an area of watch out, and they do not appear to be there, which is noticeable. The third thing you notice is that feeling, and this is where that 30 was important, that feeling of power that you had when you cast the magic missile does not appear to have left you. And your father, if you so choose, would be very vulnerable to an attack by you if you chose to make one. Okay, just so you know those things.
So in case he's making insight checks, Kaman is genuinely trying to act in the best interests of his father.
Okay.
He does have some affection for him.
Okay.
So the one thing, Father, that we have not tried through all these years of conquest, of subjugation, the one thing we haven't tried is love.
What would you have me try with love?
The good things, the right things, the pleasant things.
You want me to go walk in the orchards and appreciate the sunsets?
To raise up the poor, to defend the defenseless, to feed the hungry, to become the strength of those who are weak.
The weak.
Imagine, O great Coral King, how many would praise your name. Imagine how many would fall at your feet. Imagine how many would flock to your walls, seeking your succor, begging for your love.
And then what would I be? I would be some beggar king.
You would be powerful beyond reason, Father. And it is the one thing you have not tried. And Kaman is absolutely sincere in this. He spent all this time thinking about it, and this is his final plan for his father to succeed.
On another plane, Barra is telling Kie and Yrsa, "Oh, I hope he's killed his dad by now." I wonder what's going on.
He sort of looks back and says, our way, son, is that the weak are steps. The backs of the weak are steps for the strong to ascend.
Father,
How do you propose that?
is it not weakness to be enslaved to ideology? Is it not weakness to be enslaved to fate and destiny? We are greater than that. You, Coral King, are greater than that. And if you choose love, I will be by your side every step of the way to defend you, to support you, and to create all that your will desires. If you choose love.
He sort of, you see there's a genuine moment of thought and reflection as he listens to your words. He makes his insight checks. He feels that you are saying things that you believe are true. Right? He says, to what goal? What is the outcome if we change this strategy, if we convince those that are weak and meek and poor and bewildered to cast their lot in with us? We take our power and we diffuse it across those who are unwilling to stand on their own feet. Then what of us?
Have you done anything selfless, Father? Truly selfless? Any act truly out of unconditional love in your lifetimes?
I have repeatedly not killed you, son.
And not.
That
And then I raise my hand. You know that I could have lashed out at you from the very moment we came here.
true.
And yet, because you have chosen not to spare my life every time, here we are. And so I go down on one knee and I lower my head. And so, Father, here's the choice. I will offer you my head. You may kill me now, and you may return and wage war upon the surface world and continue doing the things you have always done. And you can expect to receive the results that you have always received. Only a madman would continue to do the same thing and expect a different outcome. Or, I open my hands. We can try love.
Make a persuasion roll.
Ah! I use Rara's advantage, the one that wasn't used. Use it?
I think I used Laura's advantage.
Fudge. I'm sorry.
I think it got used. But you know what? I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you DM advantage. Go ahead.
Oh. The performance is 20.
Okay, folks. This is for all the marbles. Persuasion! Dirty 20.
Okay. He says, So it says, you know, what, pray tell, would happen to the weak if all we did was preach about love and do good deeds? Who would how would this work? How would this even begin to work? I mean, I think about our domain. I think about the years and the generations that have died and lived and then died again in service of, well, me. And what do I say to their ghosts? It's okay. I decided it would be nice if everyone just loved each other instead.
Those are words, Father. And as you know, words mean nothing.
Quite.
It's our deeds. And so, we raise them up. We feed the hungry. We clothe the poor. We put shelters over their head. The widowed and the orphans shall come under our protection. Deeds, not words. And at any point, O Coral King, if you grow weary of this, if this is not to your will, to your taste, then you kill me and you go back to doing whatever it is you want to do. And that is the deal I offer. And it is my service I offer to you.
He puts his, like, as you've got your head sort of like bowed down and you can like your neck down and sort of,
And my hands are open wide.
he puts his hand sort of on over the sort of your back of your neck and you can feel the sharp talons sort of that are there. And you realize that at this point, whilst you had the advantage previously, you've probably tilted it so that it's ever so slightly in his advantage, right? You've kind of moved the dynamic. You could fight, but it would be difficult. And he sort of ponders quietly for a second, and then you hear him say, "Okay, heir of the sea. I feel conflicted.
Take all the time you need, Father.
How in this way do we win?"
Still in my head, Lord. You see, subjugation isn't the only victory. There are other successful outcomes, Father. We need only discover them. The possibilities are endless. We need only try.
I'd like you to make another persuasion check, please.
Holy shit. Okay. Just with the one die, I guess.
Advantage from the floor. Do we have advantage from the people?
Anyone?
Yes, you do. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, Casey, as always.
thank you,
Steady.
Izzy.
Channel the father.
Channel father.
Here we go.
Oh,
Oh.
pop this one up.
Oh.
I'm sorry, folks. I rolled a 1 and a 4, so that's a 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he says, I am not convinced. I hear your words. I respect the courage you've shown to express these words and throw away an advantage that I may not have thrown away in your position. So here is my counter offer. I plan to continue my path towards ascension. But, as you have correctly pointed out, there are many trees in the forest, many waves in the sea. And so, I will ask you, heir of the sea, will give you, let us say, a small smattering of time, 200 years perhaps, to accrue the worship, faith, power, if you will, that is required for my ascension. But you may accrue that however you wish to do so. If that is by handing flowers out and baking cakes, I will support that.
And Kaman slowly puts a hand on his father's head, on his father's taloned hand, slowly rises to his feet, and gives his dad a great big hug. Yes, Father, I accept.
Literally, you're hugging him, and he is 100% not hugging you back, but not out of like, with your insight, you can tell, but not out of like a desire to like be a cold fish. just out of complete confusion as to exactly what the fuck he's supposed to do here, right? So he sort of goes, is this a greeting you've learnt in your travels?
I want to tell you, Father, I love you. And I take a step back. I will make you proud.
He sort of waves a hand. And a strange rune that you vaguely recognize from way back when you were looking at the wall inside the sunken ruins.
Damn it!
You actually currently read it very clearly with your memories back. That says "Heir of the Sea" with an H. The rune means that it becomes, you feel a strange sort of pain in your chest, but not a damaging one, as you see that there is now a very, very hefty layer of coral emblazoned into this rune upon your chest, and says, "Then go, and do as you see fit."
I accept my commission. My duties begin.
I will remain here for 200 cycles. Seek me if you need to.
I shall, Father.
Try your experiment.
And I pray you be well. And could you just send me back to where we were, if you don't mind?
He sort of squints at you.
Because every time I teleport, really bad things happen. So if you do it, I think it's a lot safer. Yeah. Just trust me on this.
Okay. And he begins to wave his hand. And as we do that, we're just going to run back in bullet time to the other side. As this conversation is happening in the deep elemental depths, we come back to, on the other hand, the rest of the party, who are literally in the moment of Bul'Dar and Kaman disappearing, as you all turned around and gone, "Oh!"
I don't know, like, did you...
Oh no. Is it just me or the whole god go missing? And also the
Joe,
command.
you're on mute, I think.
I was saying, so Kaman was talking really softly, and then suddenly, they both disappeared. And, no, you're right. The whole god disappeared. He's a pretty big guy. It's not like we just lost him or anything. So where the fuck did he go?
Unteleported again.
No, what the fuck, man?
You really shouldn't be doing that. It's not a good thing.
We're so close. We're so close to killing him. We've got all the blades. They're still kind of hovering in the air, waiting to get him. Okay, the moment he comes back. Okay, the moment...
If he comes back, he's teleported a million times and it never goes right. At least this one he took someone who didn't want.
Never mind. No. Let's not worry about the god who is not here anymore. Let's do a bit of a seat trap. Look around.
What?
And as you look around exactly to that point, you see that a huge amount of the city is in reasonable shape, but the area around the Dawnbright Palace itself is a bit of a mess. It's been slammed by kaijus, it's been drenched in water, there are fires and flames, not to mention there was previously the site of a civil war anyway, or at least an attack that you had spearheaded. That being said, there appears to be the sounds of battle, which had pretty much, in all honesty, most people who were fighting kind of stopped and were like, what the fuck? And so there were a lot of people were primarily kind of zoning in on the kaiju battle. And then you begin to see that as you've turned around, you are the remaining victorious, creature of size and scale, put it that way. What would you like to do right now?
Is the blood company still like around?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see them, and they're, like I said, there are a smattering of fighting that's going on. They do appear to be, well, you figure that you could probably make a couple of statements just to, sort things out relatively easily.
Okay, can. So given that we are all in one form, right? No one gets a bonus per se of the roll or whatever. It's just the Tiamat form, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm like, carry us to a stable building and perch on it. Look cool.
Okay.
Then we perch on the building, then I roar out to the land. Blood company! Fuck off from whence you came, and we will spare you. Otherwise, remain and die.
You sort of pop over here, and
Supposed to be all just rah along, rah.
so make an intimidation roll. I'm going to give you, just on principle, advantage, because for obvious reasons you are Tiamat, Mother of Dragon, and so you kind of begin the intimidation roll pretty well anyway. And then, secondly, I am going to tell you that you will make intimidation with a plus 12.
Ooh, okay, we've got 29.
Okay.
Wow, that is high.
Right. So, you see that pretty much the majority of the blood company that you can, you have a ridiculously high perception, by the way, just to give you a view of this. It's like a plus 24 perception, right? So you know what's going on around you. So you see that the majority of the blood company that you can see around you and various other people, they throw their weapons to the ground, right? They sort of like stop and they are like looking at you in abject terror and fear, and a little bit of awe. Not just a little bit of awe, actually quite a lot of awe. So as you scan around further, you notice that one in particular is quite a gold chest-plated sort of paladin of the blood company that looks and sort of yells up and says, "Your will, Dark Majesty." And just bows on one knee, and sort of like you get down one knee, so and just completely sort of bows their head and says, "We will form up and return to our lands."
At this point, the Barra head comes out and goes, "Hear us! You shall not return to the worship of your dark goddess. As you can see, she has abandoned you to your fates, and your fates will be a terrible one if you continue to worship her. Rest assured, we will seek you out and give you the retribution you deserve, so richly deserve, for wreaking havoc and killing lives in her name. From now on, you will turn your eyes heavenward towards Agatha and Eijnar and your Lord God Bob. These are the Trinity that you shall worship, and none other. Your dark goddess only seeks to sacrifice you so that she can return to the plane from whence she comes. We will keep you safe. But if you return to her worship, we will contribute to your destruction." And then I try to like signal Bob to raise.
Yeah, so like sort of punches back onto like his hinds, and sort of all five heads kind of flare out, and like the wings flare out behind, and this huge sort of bellow of flame and divine just energy kind of blasts out. Make a intimidation roll, please. You'll get that with plus 12. You'll also get advantage on that roll.
Okay.
And your frightful presence means that an awful lot of people just begin to start running away. Previously, who had been down on one knee, they just start fleeing.
Okay.
Do we see Yafir and Sonali?
From where you are here, make a perception roll. You get plus 20s.
Plus 20.
So that's 24 actually.
Oh wow.
I rolled a 24. I didn't roll very well.
Okay, that's about to say. So, you, with your intelligence and your knowledge, you think it's unlikely that the paladins of the Blood Queen will, forsake their deity just based on, encounter with you, though they may have a good think about it. But certainly a lot of the others who are part of this attack, you're pretty sure you've got the message across.
Rah! I slapped some more. Rah!
My perception, I rolled a 16, so 16 plus 24,
So
40.
Yeah, so actually, you noticed that over on top of a building, right at the edge of sort of your ability to perceive things, you can see that actually there are Yrsa, Sonali, and a couple of the others from the tribe, the area that you were in, are in a strike group who are currently, or previously had been on this roof, maybe just about to be, overrun by Blood Company, or certainly there's a lot more Blood Company than there are Yrsa and Sonalis on this roof. But that's just turned around, right? So now they're there just sort of, taking a breath and just looking around and looking over and seeing you in the distance, because you're probably looking at about half a kilometer away, maybe a kilometer away. It's a good distance, right? So you can see it because you have, 5 heads are better than one. But they couldn't only see you as a giant sort of divine figure over there, and they're not even sure who you are, if you see what I mean.
Cool. They just wanted to check that they were okay.
Okay, I guess we pause for a while keeping an eye out for Bul'Dar.
Okay. There's a moment as you hear Agatha say, I don't want to worry you at all, significantly.
And we all hear this, right?
You all hear this.
Okay.
But, I've not got that much juice left in the tank right now. I don't mean that in a bad way. Nothing bad's going to happen, Barra. Don't worry. I just meant more from the whole, borrow you all, turn into this divine form and use a lot of spell stuff. I'm sort of just a little wee bit tired. So we might just need to find a little somewhere and then, yeah.
What, should we do like the classical thing and walk into the sea and disappear, and we can just kind of pretend that we're walking to the sea and disappearing, but then we just split up into our normal forms.
Oh, is that a thing? I've not done this before.
Come from. Yeah, there's always these giant creatures walking to the sea.
Oh, right.
Really bizarre.
But then they get into the sea and then they just.
And then you can do your own thing.
Right. That sounds really good. Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
So sort of wander right and turn around and then kind of stomp off into the sea. Are you leaving a message for as you wander off?
Yeah, I think we should. I looked at Kie and looked at Yrsa. Pointedly, do not look at Ryaka. Should we say something or leave them with a message?
Yes, we should.
Yes, say it, we'll back you up.
I don't know what to say, eh?
Okay, what?
Something like mark our words, that kind of threatening thing, if you disobey, we will fuck you up, that kind of shit, but nicer lah.
That sounds good.
I think let's take turns, okay? I'll start, okay? So, mark my words. Turn your eyes towards the only gods that matter. That would be Agatha, Eijnar, and your Lord God Bob, or we will return. And in the words of the white-headed dragon over there,
we will fuck you up.
And
I wanted to phrase it better.
And a final message from our sponsor. And I look at the Kie head.
Sponsor. Fuck you up! Yeah!
Roar! We shall return!
Shit, we don't do very well as gods, huh? Yeah.
It's the most awkward incarnation of Tiamat.
I don't know, dearie. I think I'm sure the scribes and prophets will do a bit of editorial work to make it
I
all.
hope so. I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's
must
fine.
understand. I'm not very good at improv. You know.
You go through a couple of translations, and it'll be different. Don't worry about it. It'll be great. It'll be the greatest story ever told.
My first time ever being a god. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, well. Good. Welcome. It looks good on you. Slimming. Now, so, Barra, tell me, we just walk off into the
So
water?
we walk off into the water and then we try and just like keep a hold of Kie and Yrsa because they're not actually really strong swimmers. I don't care about the other guy over there. And once we kind of like pop out, I can breathe underwater because like I've got like a black dragon mask fused into
Oh
my
no!
face.
We should fly. We should fly because
we
we
could
got
fly
wings.
off into the clouds, but then but when we split up, we just have to keep a hold on Bob, I suppose. So we don't know like, flat to the
A
earth.
green sort of, dragon's head just kind of pops up for a second and says, "Tell me about this mask you have."
Aye, let's go into the sky. Let's go. Let's go. Important things first. Nobody asked you. Woo!
So as you then begin to fly and then sort of head towards the water, you sort of sink beneath the waves in a suitable distance, the big displacement of water, and then a moment later, a breath of relief says, "Okay, so I'm not sure quite how this works," and then you're all individually yourselves again.
Grab onto Yrsa and Kie. Just
Well, yes, you managed to grab them. You also see that there is a form of Bob in a sort of kind of confused, chimeric, half a dragon, half a griffin, not entirely sure what he is form. But it is definitely Bob. As he turns around and says, "I haven't quite figured out how this works yet."
look, don't worry. Lots of people will give you lots of knowledge, and then you'll know everything under the sun, including things you should not say. Barra pointedly looks at his third nipple, and he looks like,
Bob looks at you and says, "I think I already know those things."
But we're not going to talk about any of that.
That's also...
Don't worry,
Yes,
Bob. We'll figure it out
that's-
together. But at first, let's get the people who can't breathe underwater out of the water. Okay?
Oh, yeah, good idea. And he sort of reaches out. And you also notice, with you in the water, a elderly form of a woman wearing a blue long cloak and a blue long dress. And she herself has got silvery grey hair. And as you look at her sort of like dark and aged complexion, you recognize it's the old lady you met once on an island in a building that disappeared when you looked for it twice. Obviously, you are very familiar with the face of Agatha, Barra. But for the rest of you, it's like, oh, gosh, interesting. As you realize that Agatha is with you in the water.
Well, guys, perhaps we should find a better place to regroup. And, like any moment, Bul'Dar might be coming back. He looks like he's greatly weakened. I think we can take him. But we should get to the surface or somewhere and,
Yes, that sounds like a sensible idea. Yeah, I need a little sit down and a cup of tea, honestly.
What happened to Kaman? Barra, can you I don't know, can you find Kaman? Can you talk to him? Ask him what's going on? Does he need help?
Ed, roll a D100 for me.
Oh no.
Oh, really now?
Runs in the family.
Ah.
Let's see.
It's okay, it's okay. It's been a good day.
14. It does run in the family.
As you 14, did you say?
Yeah,
Oh,
14.
God.
One
Okay, I
four.
can find you. I
Hello.
can find you. And Bob can find you.
Yeah, hello. So,
That's true.
So yes, we'll deal with that in a bit. But yes, so that is broadly right now where we're going to leave things, which is.
People got a question. Does Ryaka have a body again?
Oh yeah.
Yes, he does.
Oh!
Also in the water. Thank you for the reminder. Also in the water, a dark.
Oh no!
Long, road.
Interesting.
Within which is a familiar figure to you, Kie. Not a face you've all seen before, because you've seen Ryaka as in his draconic form. But to Kie, this is a face that is very familiar. And he sort of looks and touches his hand, looks across, and looks at Kie and says, Kie, you notice another thing. He's about 4.5 foot tall.
You had to fit him with the sword somehow.
No, but I'm like, what?
Yeah, you're a halfling.
Yeah.
Tiny. Yeah.
I swim up in front of Kate. Excuse me, who are you? What are you trying to do here?
Wait, is it you sit in front of Ryaka?
In front
No,
of you.
in front of
Oh,
you.
in front of me. Oh, right. Oh, it's okay, Yrsa. It's Ryaka.
Barra.
What?
Yes, it's China.
It's a bit shorter than I remember. And not as dragony. Are you sure?
Wait,
Are you?
how does he actually look like?
He looks like the Ryaka you've been training with lots. Everything else, he's just is your height.
But he is. I don't know. I imagine him to be quite dragony. Is he not dragony anymore?
He's halflingy.
I thought he was meant to look like Genshin or whatever it is. Like, so is that not? Did I get that wrong? Sorry.
Oh, okay, no. I guess
It's whatever it is in your mind, Palace. You can tell me. I tell you what. So a bit of fan art from you to let me know what reaction looks like. But we'll do all of that next week. But yes, so you do absolutely. You're correct. There is 100%. There is a Ryaka that is there. I reserve the right to retcon all of the details about him based on whatever Lisa's fanfic is going to be.
Yeah. Upon the realization that this is Ryaka, it's like, oh, and casually treads water away. Give them some space.
Yes. On that note, you do hear Bob go, that's weird. Kaman's over that way. And kind of points in the random direction, sort of off to not the direction of where the city is. It's not too far though.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Like, we better go because he'll definitely need our help because we gotta fucking kill Bul'Dar because that's what we all swore to do, right? Yeah, let's go.
Okay. And as you all pile on top of Bob, Agatha sort of says, I'm probably not meant to ride on you, Bob. It's just a bit weird because you're kind of Eijnar and you're also kind of, Bob, and it's all a bit confusing. It's okay. I'll just, toddle along. You know how they do. And we will draw that curtain down there as you guys begin to move your way out of the water and you settle your way in. Next week, we can figure out what you're going to do. We're going to do a bunch of, as part of this final chapter stuff, we're going to do a bunch of little time skips. And so if there are things that you would like to do in the course of next week, then let me know over the course of this week and we'll make these vignettes happen, or we'll make these moments happen, or we'll see what we're going to do. But yeah, wow.
Oh, man. Oh, that's, I don't know.
That was great.
Yeah, but it's a new conflict because Barra's not gonna let go of it.
Yeah.
Wait, let go of as in what, Kaman?
No, the vengeance. Anyway, we'll see.
All grist for the mill, isn't it? On that note, though, I just want to say a massive thank you. It's the Happy New Year to our players, and thank you very much for kicking off. I've never run a fight between two gods before, and what
that was awesome. That was really awesome.
Absolutely nuts. And so that was a huge blast. Thank you very much to our amazing audience for joining and staying with us this evening. We will be back next Monday as we continue with the next chapter. We may with a bit of luck, even be back in the studio together. We will see, which is very exciting. So that'll be good. I look forward to seeing you all then. And on that bombshell, my name is Ramji, and I've been your Dungeon Master and host, and joining me has been the remarkable Joe Tan, Barra, the heir to the sea himself, Mr. Edward Choy, who's got a boyfriend.
Nothing has happened. Nothing.
Lisa Yo, and hey, how come I'm the whitehead? Sheena Chan. And so on that note, big thank you to all our friends, big thank you to our audience, and big thank you as always to Hans and Cheryl.
Hans and Cheryl!
We'll see you all next week. Take care. Bye.
Bye, everyone!
Behold thine heroes as they observeth the troubled lands and stormy sea. They have no choice, it's national service, or Marabanda servitude. A goblin captain, sea elven cleric, one small and green, one tall and blue, stoned halfling monk and bard who dedicates its campaign anthem to you.
Here in Singapore, these party who stream sweet D&D. The both culture is our name, but you can call us T4C. Asian influence from rule with less Eurocentricity. Now for some Asia Pen gang chants featuring Audi and Randy.
One coffee, take that bar for me.
Coffee, see that love for me. Oi, oi, oi. Oi, oi, oi. 新赛了，麦伦来了。新赛了，麦伦来了。Dragon power. Dragon power.
I sound quite transatlantic, actually.
Anyway, this is our party and we're actually very fun. We all go play really hard and we always sing a ton of songs where we find gods and monsters beneath the Urtu sun. We are Asia's the pop culture and at last our song is done.
Except for our reminder